Hello, 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 hello. Hi, how's it going, everybody? We're here. We're here, and we're weird. What's up? Today we're going to be doing a little bit of chatting. We have Nick Rekieta's arrest warrant and some of the case files. I redacted some of it, like things like middle names, the judge's name, the court location. Just that I'm pretty sure it's public, but I'm trying to be polite. I try to be, not a dick. Good morning. Puck is currently still outside, so if I have to run up and go get him, that's why. I'm a little bit more awake yet. I don't have any tea. I'm all out of tea, but I got some peppermint, so that's nice. Yeah, one of the reasons I was a little bit later was because I was pre-redacting some of the information. Would hate to be like Aaron. But I figure we got a little bit of time. Just to chat. Yeah, see, like, his birth dates redacted and stuff like that. These ones came in pre-redacted, but I went and looked at some other stuff and redacted some of that as well. It's like basically like the overview. We're probably going to be talking about this on Friday. Actually, speaking of which, I put the volcano show for this Friday. That's wrong. I scheduled it on the wrong date. It's not supposed to be till the 7th. I'm just going to fix that real quick right now before I forget. Because I will forget. Let me just go over here. Edit this. Yeah, this should say the, not for May. This needs to be next week. There we go, the 7th. I'm off by like a week. Oh, there's Puck. Your cousin's day. I assume you mean birthday. I misschedule streams all the time. I mess up, like, time frames and stuff. Always. Okay. Do we have... I'm trying to think about if there's anything that we need to cover before diving into this. I think that I should probably put... I'm gonna make something today to put underneath you guys. And we're gonna do it on stream. But we're gonna do this Nick Rekieta stuff first. Let's see if I'm gonna be able to read this out loud very well. The only thing I'm concerned about with being tired right now is my voice is having a rough time. So this was the search warrant that got Nick Rekieta, what's the word I'm looking for? Arrested. I guess. And we all saw the video, right? We all saw that. That was rough. That dude was not looking so good. Scratching his arm, rubbing his leg. Maybe he was doing more than rubbing his leg, but I'm being a nice guy about it. But he was looking very gaunt. Like, he looked rough. Like, that was hard to watch. Definitely, like, poor guy, Jesus Christ. But as I had said, like, I've been critical of him in the past, and that doesn't really change anything. On the other hand, there has been some people who have been like, yeah, well, good, he should get arrested, and I don't disagree with that. Because, like, the consequences of your actions, my guy. Not that I think that drugs should necessarily be illegal when you're abusing things, you know. Problems occur. So let's take a look at this, shall we? Let me zoom this in so it's a little bit easier for you guys to... Whoa, that's too far. There we go. That should be good, yeah. Cool. Application for search warrant. Licensed peace officer in the state of Minnesota make an application to this court for a warrant to search the premises and persons described below for the property and things described below. I know the content of this application and affirm that the statement contained in this application are true based on my own knowledge or are believed to be true. I believe that the following described property and things, namely, this is like your normal blah blah blah. Controlled substances, including methamphetamine, cocaine, and other controlled substances prohibited by law, and paraphernalia commonly associated with the sales/use of controlled substances. Items that would show controlled substance use that would not qualify as legal drug paraphernalia. All right. To be clear, this is the warrant, not like the arrest paperwork. All right. Is or are at the premises and on the persons described. Name: the residence has a tar driveway. Or sorry, that's address. The residence has a tar driveway leading from east of blah 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 blah. Residence is 2 stories with this blah blah blah. That's just like where he lives. Nick Rekieta. Located in the city or township of New London. Blah blah blah. I apply for a search warrant for the following grounds. The possession of the property or things above described constitutes a crime. The property or things above described constitutes evidence which tends to show a crime has been committed or tends to show that a particular person has committed a crime. The facts... What is it? Oh, the facts establishing the grounds or issuance of the search warrant are as follows. Your affidavit is Detective Quinn, licensed peace officer since 2019. Your affidavit has been employed by the sheriff's office 2013. In 2018, your affidavit has been assigned a detective of the division. So that was page 1 of 5. Hopefully these are in order. They should be. So we're missing, nope, that's page 2. Okay. This is the case background. Case is focusing on felony level crimes, including but not limited to criminal sexual conduct, homicide, death investigation, missing persons, fatal motor vehicle crashes, burglary, blah 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 blah. If this is like blah blah blah, this is who is bringing forth the warrant to validate that the warrant is being brought forward is your affiant is certified in firearms, blah, blah, blah. This is like everything about the police officer to verify that they're legit. That's why we skipped the last page. On May 16th, 2024, the county chief's office sergeant received a report regarding a possible child neglect and controlled substance abuse. The reporter indicated that Nick Rekieta resides at blank. It's Spicer in Minnesota, MN. Is MN Minnesota? I'm Canadian. Send help. I think that's Minnesota. In this county, he resides at the residence with his wife, blah, 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 DOB, person and 5 children, ages 6 to 16. The reporter indicated that 4 people from their church had gone to him reporting neglect to the children, possible controlled substance use, and questionable relationship with an additional couple. So the reporter wasn't somebody from the internet. It wasn't people out to get Nick Rekieta. It was literally the people he's friendly with that are part of his like church family that had gone to the sergeant and reported that they were concerned about child neglect, possible substance use, and a questionable relationship with an additional couple. Nick out here swinging? Hey, listen, no judgment for me, but, as long as everything's above board. It was reported that Nick is a social media blogger, and he and his wife had befriended hosts from a different local social media blogger. Those individuals were identified as some other people. I don't know who Aaron Michael Imholt is. If there are other... is that a... Hold on, let me look this up. This is why we learn these things together. So supposedly this person is also social media. Hold on, let me look them up. Oh yeah. It's got an Instagram. Anyway, yeah. Okay, yeah. Another internet person. More YouTubers. Yippee. Your affiant knows personally these personalities of the Steel Toe Morning Show. There you go, which used to be in St. Cloud, and radio. However, as of recent years, the show has been a social media entertainment show, strictly online based. It was reported that the Imholtz may have been staying with the Rekitas, and the home was in disarray and cluttered. It was reported from a church preschool teacher that the children had complained of being hungry, of not being fed, wearing the same clothes for 3 to 4 days at a time, and would start to smell. Nick was reported to being lethargic and appeared high or drugged, driving a car around. Oh, hold on, I gotta go get a puck. Just a sec. Okay, there we go, I'm back. Sorry, I had to go get the dog. You can tell my brain's not awake because it's taking me a hot minute to read this. So, reported of being lethargic, appeared to be high on drugs and driving a car around. That's not good. You shouldn't drive while you're under the influence. Hello, doggo. Hi. How you doing? Boop. What? You look like you're ready to bark at me. Another individual advised the reported that Nick will walk out randomly during sermons at church and have noticed behavioral changes in him. It was alleged that his wife looked anorexic and Nick had lost a substantial amount of weight. Remember when I said he was looking gaunt? So this is like a welfare check with like concerns of crime. Hold on, I'm gonna pop out chat so it's a little bit easier for me to read. I really need to gotta get the third screen set up. We'll get there. I need a connector. When it comes to children, people don't mess around. Which is why people want him to be arrested. They don't think they necessarily want him to go to jail over to only the drugs, but some might. I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's some like Amber Heard stands out there that are douchebags, but like people are gonna be douchebags. I'm sure if I got arrested, there'd be some people that would cheer it on, whether or not it was, like, legitimate or not, you know what I mean? So, like, I don't think it's a weird thing to happen. Does it make it appropriate? Not necessarily. Context matters, all that good shit, but... another individual advised and reported that blah 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 walking out of sermons, blah blah blah. One individual described Nick of having injection or track marks on his arm. Scratching. The reporter reiterated concerns for possible neglect and or controlled substance use within the home. Your affiant started to review the Rekieta's and Imholt's social media blogs. The blogs are commonly related to legal issues and high-profile trials, as Nick is a licensed attorney. Nick is known to drink alcoholic beverages excessively on these video blogs. I immediately noticed that Nick's appearance in recent months has changed. In videos from January 2024 compared to May 2024, Nick appears to have lost weight, appears tired, and overall appears strung out, common with controlled substance use. Nick commonly refers to his studio as his basement in his own residence. Nick has been the victim of swatting phone calls and is known to the county and the sheriff's office because of these calls, and they've responded to these calls before. While reviewing Imholt's social media video blogs, Aaron recently indicated that he and April were getting a divorce. Aaron goes on to say that he has experimented with cocaine 3 times and Molly 6 or 7 times in the past. Recently, on 12/19/2023, the Imholts broadcasted a podcast from Rekieta's studio, with the podcast being named Live from Spencer, STES 12/19/23. Throughout Imholt's video blogs, it is apparent that they and the Rekietas were friends and may have recently had a falling out. It should be noted that the recent videos of Imholt's April has at times also appeared tired, lethargic, and strung out as well. In both Nick and Imholt's video blogs from Rekieta's studio, it is apparent that they are in the same room, and the items in the background appear the same. At one point during the video, Nick walks in the background, grabs an item, which would show that the background is not a backdrop curtain, and that it was the layout of an actual room. On 05/22/24, Imholt did a video blog where he talked about Nick and insinuating controlled substance use, and also referenced a video blog Nick put out online on 05/21/2024 that had since been taken off the internet. Imholt indicates in this blog that Nick needs help and needs to get help for his kids because of his substance abuse. Imholt points out a time in the video where Nick has a white and powdery substance on his nose. On 05/22/24, yeah, there's a few typos in here. 05/22/2024, your affiant was able to review the video that was taken off of Nick's YouTube and Rumble social media sites. The video is from 05/21/2024, and it is of Nick in his basement studio talking about a court appeals ruling he lost. He appears in the video to be drinking alcoholic beverages and eventually appears under the influence of a substance or substances. So this is the video that we watched a clip of. The entire video blog is about 4 hours and 4 minutes long. Approximately 2 minutes and 46 into the video, Nick leaves to go use the restroom when he returns at 2:40. Oh, so this is 2 hours and 46 minutes. There's no way he left it blank for nearly 3 hours, right? Hello, welcome. 2 hours and 46 minutes, and then he returns at 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 40 seconds. He appears to be making an excited look and has a white powdery substance on his nose. Your affiant believes his behavior to be indicative of central nervous system stimulant. Your affiant believes, based on training and experience as well as the behavior of Nick, that he ingested this white powdery substance through his nasal cavity while off camera. Your affiant knows through training and experience that ingesting controlled substances through a nasal cavity is common amongst controlled substance users and is often referred to as snorting. Your affiant also noted that throughout the video, Nick is so under the influence of a substance to the point that he has to close one eye to read his screen, rambles, and slurs his speech. Nick would obviously not be able to care for his children in this state of intoxication. Oof. Rough. It should be noted that your affiant was a drug recognition evaluator for several years, and based on your affiant's training and experience, the behavior of Nick in his video blog indicates polysubstance use, meaning it is believed he was ingesting more than one substance based on his behavior, being both excited and nearly passed out. This can be consistent behavior of using both CNS stimulants and depressants. Your affiant believes that the reports of negligence and controlled substance are consistent with previously mentioned information. Your affiant is requesting to search the location, or the address, for the above listed items in relation to the welfare of the children in the home, and in relation to controlled substance investigation. Your affiant is also requesting to search Nick Rekieta. So, that is basically part one of what the arrest warrant looked like. So this was, again, this is the application of the arrest warrant, not like charges. This is not what he has been charged with. This is just the warrant so far. We have more to cover, but this was just the warrant so far. Because I don't want people to take things and run off in the wrong directions because they don't know what we're looking at. Because that is a thing that happens. Let me double check here because I do believe I had some other stuff pulled up, but I have this as well, which is the case number. So this is after the arrest, and this is what he's being charged with. Because of course I'm gonna have all that shit. Why wouldn't I have all that shit? Somebody sent me a picture of a cute dog. Very adorable. So, before the charges had come out, we got a tweet from our least favorite person, Alex Stein. If you remember, we watched 2 videos of... Oh, sorry, let me double check. Search warrant. It was a search warrant, not an arrest warrant. Alex Stein was the show that we had watched. That was like the biggest cringe fest I have ever seen in my life. With Vic Mignogna, we watched 2 of them. They were terrible, where Vic is just being horrifically transphobic. Yeah, the racist guy. Yeah. So he had tweeted out, Vic Mignogna tells his side of the story about Nick Rekieta. You don't want to miss what is revealed, especially not you at RekietaLaw. Tuesday, May, blah, 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 blah. Nick Rekieta, Vic Mignogna speaks the truth about Rekieta. Okay. Alright. You're gotta love opportunists. You know what I mean? Because, like, that's all this is. It's just being an opportunist. Because, like, of course he is. But, I'll have you know, due to the recent developments of child neglect, Vic no longer wants to be associated with Nick Rekieta criminal proceedings and will not be joining the show tonight. Vic had no idea about the wife swapping or child neglect, and he no longer wants to be associated with Nick at all. So, there's a few things to talk about, right? That's a few things. I mean, first off, kind of funny. It's kind of, no offense, kind of funny. Kind of funny. Second off, this is the thing about fair weather friends, right? Birds of a feather flock together until the cat comes. And these are people who have supported Nick, who have been around Nick, who will have known. And there has been some... You notice that it doesn't say, oh, Vic didn't know about the drugs. Uh-huh. Okay. I notice that this isn't Vic saying this. This is somebody saying this at Nick's behest, sorry, not Nick, Vic. Whether or not Vic actually asked Alex to put this information out, or if Alex is just making something up because Vic canceled on him, or whatever. There's, like, too much, like, vague information, you know what I mean? So, like, it's hard. Like, you can't really say that, oh, well, Vic Mignogna is blah, 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 definitively, because, well, this is just something that somebody is saying on his behalf. Right? So, you know, there's that. So, taking that with a grain of salt, I think I got a bug bite. So, there's been some language that I've seen some of the, like, LawTube, they call it, like the group of YouTube lawyers, because I've had issues with this guy. I don't like groups like this. Not because they're lawyers, and not because of whoever may or may not be in the group, but because this group protects each other, like, heftily. And so there's language that's been used by, like, that umbrella guy. Right, and you can see that it's like specifically stating things like, hold on, get out of here. I'm just gonna double check. Oh, well, this is already public, so I don't have to worry about redacting any of this. I don't like stuff like that because it's ripe for problems. It's too easy. It's too easy to get, like, when you start protecting people regardless because they're part of your group. There's nothing wrong with being tribal. There's a problem when you don't, like, take care of your own properly. And, like, that's the problem we're seeing, right? We're seeing that they've known and left it alone, right? And that's no bueno. Especially when you have somebody in your group like Reketa, for example, or like, I mean, there are others within the group, but like Reketa, for example, who is aggressive towards people, very aggressive. And it's no secret that Nick Reketa is aggressive and been aggressive to people he's criticizing or people whose cases he's covering or people who question him or at, like, whatever, right? So, like, the Vic Mignogna case, for example. By the way, the Vic Mignogna GoFundMe only recently closed. So let's take a look at this. We have a couple of things to look at, and it's going to be a little bit haphazard because the information isn't exactly coming out sequentially. So, if you want to look at this yourself, hold on, let me grab this real quick. God, I hate that. Oh God, this is the worst. I hate that bookmarks do this now. It's terrible. It opens up a side tab, so it keeps your bookmarks open, which is fine, but ugh. Here's a link to the Twitter if you guys want to check this out yourselves. But what this says at the end of the day is State of Minnesota, District Court, 8th Judicial District, Minnesota. I was right, MN is Minnesota. Nick Reketa, blah, blah, blah. Complaint submits this complaint to the court. It states that there is a probable cause to believe defendant committed the following offenses. Charges, drugs, 1, 2, and 3. Charges, drugs, second degree, possess 25 grams or more of cocaine or methamphetamine. I don't know which. Minnesota statutes reference 152.022.2A1. And then the maximum sentence is 25 years or $500,000 or both. The offense level is felony. Charge description: on or about May 3rd, 2024, in Minnesota, defendant possessed one or more mixtures of a total weight of 25 grams or more of containing cocaine, a Schedule II controlled substance. Defendant possessed over 25 grams. Count 2, charge possesses ammo, any firearm user of controlled substance. The statute is 624.713.110.3. Maximum sentence is 364 days or $3,000 fine or both. Offense is a gross misdemeanor. A charge description: on or about May 23rd, 2024. In Minnesota, a user of any controlled substance unlawfully possessed ammunition, a pistol, or semi-automatic military-style assault weapon, or any other firearm. And count number 3 is charge of endangered child present sale / post continued substance G, with Minnesota statute 609.378.1B2. Man, it has been a while since I've been reading, like, this kind of paperwork. Jeez. When was the last time I actually covered, like, a lawsuit? Yeah, I guess probably the Vic Mignogna one. That was months ago. Okay. Whew. Charge description: on or about May 23rd, 2024, in the county, blah, 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 Minnesota, who is a parent, legal guardian, or caretaker, endangers the child's person or health by knowingly causing or permitting the child to be present where any person is possessing a controlled substance in violation of Minnesota statutes 152.021, 152.022, 152.023, 152.024, or 152.0262. The complainant states that the following facts establish probable cause. Your complaint is licensed peace officers employed by the county sheriff's office in this capacity. Your complainant believes the following to be true and correct. On May 23rd, 2024, at approximately 9:13 a.m., a search warrant was executed at the address, and I'm going to skip through the address. Nick Rekieta was stopped by law enforcement. Upon knocking on the door, a juvenile female opened the door and wouldn't let them in. Nick Rekieta would not provide the door code to enter the residence. Law enforcement entered the home utilizing a door ram. Upon entry, law enforcement located his wife and April Imholt, and 4 juveniles were also in the home. Officers noted the home was extremely cluttered. There were clothes everywhere, dirty dishes, dust, and all over dirty home. Nick Rekieta returned to the home with law enforcement. He demanded a copy of the search warrant. When given a copy, he looked at it and threw it on the ground. You know. During the search, law enforcement located the following in the master bedroom. Should I wait for the ads? I will wait for ads. Let me know when you're back from ads. We'll wait. We'll vibe. So, did Nick get swatted? No, he did not. Apparently, he's been swatted in the past, though. But not this time. This time, he got tattled on by his own church. Yeah, I know, right, Puck? That's ridiculous. No, because it's not a false call, and no, because they knocked, and he refused them entry. SWAT don't knock. SWAT don't knock is classic. Okay, bang, FBI, open up. Okay, we're waiting for you. Alright. I'm assuming the ad started. So, TLDR so far is Rekieta asked for a search warrant. They refused. The police knocked on the door. They refused them entry. The police went in with a battering ram. The house was a mess. There were clothes and dirty dishes all over the place. Nick asked for a copy of the search warrant. They gave him a copy and he threw it on the ground. What do you want, Puck? Alright. During the search, law enforcement located the following in the master bedroom. The following items were located in the master bedroom near the nightstand. Yellow snort tube, positive for cocaine. Black vial with white substance inside that field tested positive for cocaine and weighed 2.2 grams. 2 credit cards listed to April. A .22 caliber spent shell castings on the floor of the nightstand of the master bedroom. The following item was located under the bed What? What do you want from me, Puck? We all know you're the star of the show. What are you mad about? I love you. Ooh. Come here. It was thunderstorming last night, so he was wearing his little earmuffs. He is very not happy about it. You want a bath? After this, I'm going to give you a bath. He's like, no. No baths. What do you want? What do you want? I'm sorry for anybody super interested in this, but my dog takes priority over literally everything in my life. What? You are very cute. We know. We all know you're very cute. Huh? High five. High five. Good boy. What? Go get a ball or something. What do you want from me? I'm gonna kick you out. Huh? Huh? Alright. Get out of here. Gonna go on the bed? He's looking for more balls. You got them all. You have all the balls. There are no more new balls. There are 2 of them right there. I can't. There's nothing I can do for you. There's no more. You destroyed the box. There's no more. They're all gone. Is there one under the bed? Is that what's upsetting you right now? Oh my god. Nope. Nothing. You're full of crap, Puck. I mean, technically there were actually 2 under the bed. I have literally 4 balls. Must consume more box. I know, right? Can I take that one? Okay. Is that the one you picked? Okay. No, you coming back? Alright. Want that one? Alright. Alright. He's satisfied with that. That's my go eat food alarm. Alright. Now that we've had a brief break of Puck being a weenie, which is like, you know, only 90% of the time. Where were we? The following items were located in the master bedroom, right? The following item was located underneath the bed in the master bedroom. A SIG saucer AR with several magazines and loose ammunition, serial number 20G002638. Stop! You're being a jerk. Following item was located in the master bedroom dresser, a glass container with metal filter and grinder, and glass container that tested field positive for cocaine. We do know that field testing can be a little bit loose, but yeah. The following items were located in a safe in the master bedroom, a bag with cards and dollar bills that field tested positive for cocaine, large corner cut baggie with white powder that field tested positive for cocaine and weighed 18.96 grams with packaging. Small baggies that field tested positive for cocaine weighing 5.49 grams with packaging. 8 green-colored tablets that field tested positive for ketamine. A digital scale that field tested positive for cocaine. Metal pan with white powder on it that tested positive for cocaine. 2 snort tubes. 2 metal cutters. The snort tubes tested positive for cocaine. The following items were located in a safe in the master bedroom closet. $100 bill with white powder residue that field tested positive for cocaine. Really, dude? Are we doing this? Are we really going into the I was cutting cocaine with $100 bill? Really? That's a meme. Oh my god. Really? Right cliche? It's a meme. He's doing a meme. Come on, dude. Come on. And a porridge in a pear tree. I think you mean a partridge in a pear tree? Porridge? What would porridge be doing in a pear tree? Oh, brother. Okay. Sorry, I'm just watching Puck. I want to make sure he's not going to be a dick.
watching you.
All right. Bindle white bag with white powder substance that field tested positive for cocaine. Cocaine scooper, 2 baggies within a baggie with a funnel, an unknown brown substance. Additional firearms and ammunition were located in the garage. The total amount of measurable cocaine in the master bedroom was 26.67 grams with packaging. Cocaine is a Schedule 2 controlled substance. Ketamine is a Scheduled 1 controlled substance. Detective Poplum met with Rekieta outside of his residence. He was read his Miranda rights, and he agreed to speak with officers without counsel. Nick Rekieta indicated that he sleeps in the master bedroom with his wife. He indicated that April was at the home visiting. Nick Rekieta and Kyla were placed under arrest. While being placed under arrest, Detective Poplum noted several injuries on the arms of Nick Rekieta that appeared consistent with sores that are common with controlled substance use. This is what Mani was talking about on Friday. They were transported to jail. Kyla did not speak with officers. At the county jail, Nick Rekieta was again read his Miranda rights and agreed to speak with officers without an attorney. Nick refused to answer any questions regarding cocaine or other controlled substance use. Rekieta indicates that he lives in his residence, he stays in the master bedroom with his wife, and that April was a friend who was visiting and does not live at the residence. While being booked into jail, Kyla requested that her prescription medication be brought to her. Upon reviewing the prescription bottles for Kyla, they were brought to the jail. Jail staff found 2 unknown pills and gummies in one of the prescription bottles. These items did not match the prescription on the bottle. Please take notice pursuant Minnesota statute, paragraph 609.49. Additional intentional failure to appear for duly scheduled court appearances may result in additional criminal charges in addition to any arrest warrant that may otherwise be issued by the court. There's the signatures and the approvals. Finding probable cause from the above sworn facts and any supporting affidavits or supplemental sworn testimony, I, the issuing officer, have determined that probable cause exists to support subject to bail or conditions of release where applicable, defendants' arrest or other lawful steps be taken to obtain defendant's appearance in court or defendant's detention if already in custody pending further proceedings. Defendant is therefore charged with the above stated offenses. Then there's like the summons and the if you fail to appear and the warrant, and then the order of detention. Defendant is already in custody. I order the subject to bail or conditions of release. Defendant continue to be detained for the proceedings. This complaint is duly subscribed and sworn in and signed. Blah 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 blah. This said fingerprints required, fingerprint match criminal history record, yes. Statute offense grid, so charge and penalty, charge and penalty, charge and penalty, which we talked about already. And that is that document. I also have this one as well, which I took directly myself, so I can you can verify that this was actually the case. There is the case number if you wanted to look it up for yourself. Well, this is public information, so nothing in here that even what is getting blocked off isn't really like redacted. It's all public anyway. So like we've got the felony, the gross misdemeanor, and another gross misdemeanor, and it matches everything that I've seen going around Twitter so far, so it doesn't look like there's a whole, despite what the Umbrella guy decided to say and what Nick Rekieta decided to say, there does not appear to be misinformation going around. At least not what I can tell. There does seem to be people just talking about the pretty direct issues. Brain, hello, where did I go? I lost my thing. The umbrella guy had posted... Let me see if I can find him. What the fuck? Sorry, this is other umbrella guy stuff. I'm not gonna talk about that right now. The fuck is this? Oh. Oh my god, do I not know his fucking Twitter handle? God. Hold on, let me just do this the long way. So he has talked about, he streamed yesterday for an hour about Rekieta. Or, well, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Live RekietaLaw warrant issued, his best defense, and then they talked about some other people. So I am going to pull up this one so we can see what they've been saying, because these guys were friends, right? And he was being pretty defensive about Rekieta initially, and that seems to have, like, had a bit... has seemed to have had, like, a little bit of a, Bro doesn't have his Twitter linked. For fuck's sakes, dude. Oh, it's that umbrella guy, not the umbrella guy. Whatever. So, before we look at this, this was streamed yesterday. It says 1 day ago, so May 27th. For anybody who cares. I'm just gonna show you guys the his Twitter. So as you can see, we're starting from the back going forward. Let's get that out of here. There we go. We're starting from the back going forward. Good morning, Blinding Land. Welcome, welcome. So in 520, so the 521 Nick Rekieta stream was used as part of the warrant. This has been speculated, but the information has just become available. Yeah, we knew about that. I don't know how watching videos works as part of probable cause. Really? You don't know how watching videos, how somebody behaves is in a live stream falls in probable cause? So here's what's gonna be the problem, right? That I'm foreseeing. When covering the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, the video that Amber Heard took to try to show that Johnny Depp was problematic when he was, like, slamming cupboards or whatever, and she was, like, egging him on, that video was used to say that Amber was abusing Johnny. So, how would that... How would you... How I don't... This is silly. I feel like this is gonna turn into apologetics real quick. I don't know how watching videos works as part of probable cause. Because they're videos of the person. It's self-explanatory. Like, you're literally watching the person taking an action and doing the thing. Is better than getting, like, a neighbor to say that they heard something, is it not? Unless you're gonna say the video is fabricated, which I don't think that's gonna fly very well, considering, like, it's on YouTube, or it was. So that's just silly to me. Yes, new legal stuff, Feline. Viva Fry and Barnes brought up good points on the Rekieta warrant I think we should discuss tonight. It's a reminder to separate the personal from the legal and to question while also getting someone help or giving them support. I'm also not a lawyer. I am a mental health provider, and I see someone I think is in crisis, and they happen to be someone I consider a friend. That's different than the objective facts of what happened, though, and that is a good reminder. So that's the video we're about to watch, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, you know when you're supporting the quartering, you're questionable. The last few days got me to think about all the stupid petty YouTube creator slap fights some of us get into, myself included, and how that time could be better spent chilling with friends and fighting whatever good fight presents itself. Love to you all. The YouTube people that you're getting in slap fights with might be the good fight, though. They're not, like, being friendly on YouTube doesn't negate that. There's no joke in discussing what's happening with Rekieta. It's all tragic as fuck, and everyone reaching out privately everyone reaching out privately isn't working. Without being detailed, I know that for a fact. This is what I mean, right here when I said earlier that there was some language indicative of that they had that these people knew what was happening in the background, but didn't say anything about it publicly. They just let it hang, which is probably not, like, public behavior needs to be spoken about publicly. It has to be. It's just the way it's public. It's everywhere. If you don't address it publicly, then it's not helpful. Then last night we get a post about local streams and not knowing the entire story, and I'm sorry. I'm frustrated as fuck by it. They compound with one-off Twitter post saying they love the guy and are there while people walk away because they're afraid of backlash. I can't have that on my conscience, nor can I bury another friend because I was too polite to say what needed to be said loudly. There's nothing meant towards the poster you mentioned, by the way. Those are all good people. To be a friend, we have to pretend Rekieta isn't an addict, hasn't been deteriorating on streams, isn't in denial, so he hasn't gone into rehab, and that somehow serves him or those depending on him. That's not a friend. That's being complicit. So here's the thing. You mentioned up here that you knew about this beforehand and talked about it privately, and it wasn't until now that it blew up publicly that you're saying this kind of stuff. So this is gonna fall on deaf ears from, like, the way people are gonna view this. I'm frustrated right now, and it shows. I want to scream, wake the fuck up, over and over again. Well, you need to do this before he gets arrested. Doing it after he's gotten arrested and everything has a big public blowout means that, like, people are going to be suspicious of you, or they're going to think that all your outrage is performative, because that's how it's going to come across. So this was what Nick Rekieta had posted about the news. So, hey, obviously a lot has happened. I'm sorry. For legal purposes, it must be reiterated that the sorry is for the disruption, and it is no way related to any pending legal matters. That said, please realize that no one has the full story or picture or on anything. It's possible no one ever will. Nothing reported is accurate. And that's not their fault. I've seen so many supportive messages. Thank you for that. I'll still be doing stuff. I'm home now. Stay tuned for show announcements and stuff here on Locals, Nick. And then Umbrella Guy had said Nick posted this and a new post. I have strong opinions on it, but I don't think they'll help, so I'm going to post it as is, edited to add new post. I really want to go live tonight. I plan on doing Locals tonight. I really wanted to do the first stream aftermath gay bullshit, but I'm really not feeling it. I'm sorry. I'll do something tomorrow. Right now I'm drained. I am drained and fucking tired. Again, a million people will have a whole slew of opinions about me and everything That's fine. They've earned it. They don't know the story. They can't. But it doesn't matter whether or not people know the story, though. It matters whether or not people know the facts. And you said nothing reported was accurate, meaning that you're saying the police officers' warrants are not accurate. That stuff isn't true. Which I get that you would wanna say that and like deny any allegations. But when they've straight up like caught you red-handed, maybe don't go back to streaming right away. Maybe your first concern when you're being charged with child neglect is the children. Maybe your priorities on streaming is part of the problem, perhaps. Maybe? I don't know. And maybe the umbrella guy posting stuff like this with no criticisms and being like, well, I have criticisms, but I'm not gonna say them. Dude, you not saying anything, you've already admitted is part of the problem. Like, you know that you not saying anything is part of the problem. And you're still gonna do it. Bros before hoes, I guess? I don't know. But they get their opinions and I deserve my public lashings. Again, he's presenting criticisms and people talking about what happened as if he's being attacked or unfairly rebuked for something, which is this idea that he's the victim and everything is somebody else's fault and nobody really knows what's going on. This is gaslighting. Of the major people that I've seen talk about this, like people who actually have a following, I haven't seen anybody like attacking his family. I haven't seen anybody saying anything really inappropriate. Most of what I've seen is, wow, what the fuck? And then when people have criticized them for saying, wow, what the fuck, they've been like, dude, this guy went at me for like literal years. Like, what do you mean? So, to try to say that people talking about this is a public lashing that's not what's happening. He's trying to reframe it. He's trying to spin a narrative. He's trying to spin a story. I ask people to focus on me and my failures and leave other people allegedly involved out of it. When it's grifting time, I'll tell you shitty jail stories or, quote, the good parts about having your house searched stories. So he's thinking that he's gonna go to jail. He's still denying things, but admitting he's likely going to go to jail. And that he's going to use jail to grift money from people. So the dude thinks he's gonna do his time and just be able to come back to YouTube and be fine. Okay. I mean, I guess you can't fault him for confidence? I guess. I don't... I don't know. I want to be jovial and optimistic for those things because they can be funny and self-deprecating. Tonight I don't feel jovial. Peace, y'all. Talk soon. Okay. Just woke up, what's going on? Gotta admit, Rekieta made me laugh with this. Now go to rehab. Why are Nick Rekieta's friends quiet? Say something. You're talking because you're using Rekieta. Can people decide which way they're twisting their panties? And national media is hitting this, and half these journals don't research. They see a trend and farm Twitter. I'd rather try to get it right than read out conspiracies about hedonism and how he got arrested for a DUI with a gun buying powder, which someone actually reported. That amount is concerning. Personally, I'd rather talk about the reality of what's happening with Nick Rekieta, highlighting the issues and needs, than see more insane claims. Rekieta has been trending for 3 days since that now infamous stream that led to wild rumors, wild ones. Then this hit and went to mainstream sources with normies tuning in, and many of those are adding rumors from online. That sucks too. Can we please leave this man and his family alone? Alright, so let's check out the live. Let's check out the live stream and see what happened. I'm not too interested in the side chat. Like, I don't care that much about what their fans are saying. I don't know how long this is gonna be. So this is a 3-hour and 35-minute video. I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing. We're gonna we'll give it a shot and see how it is. Yeah, the dude used the term normie unironically for people outside of LawTube reporting on a legal situation, like something that is newsworthy. A lot of the times I pick on mainstream media, particularly for posting stories and stuff that aren't news. This is news, and it is also like social media news. So, the fuck is a normie? Somebody not an influencer? Yeah, I mean, that's not a good use of the term normie, and not a good way to use it. So, I think that, okay, my opinion is that Tug, which is that umbrella guy, has known Rekieta for a while. They've worked together, at least within the same sphere of YouTube. He views him as a friend, and he knew that there was some shit going on, and didn't say anything about it publicly, and now he's coping. So he's going to be presenting the information, but it's likely he's going to be presenting it far softer than he has covered other legal things. Like, he went hard on Amber Heard. And that's not to say that she didn't deserve it, or whatever your opinions are about that. What that is to say is that I suspect that we're not gonna see consistency. Rules for thee and not for me. He's special pleading and apologizing for Nick. Yes. And he's enabling Nick. He's enabling Nick Rekieta to make a YouTube comeback or whatever, which Nick is already planning on doing, so... Yeah. Let's take a look at this and see what we got. I'm gonna adjust the volume as we go here. That's probably gonna get me like... Okay. Whoa! There we go. Oh my god. Right. There we go.
How's it going today? Welcome to, I hope it is a holiday for all of you out there. I hope you're sitting on your butts, having a good time, doing whatever, and it has been a very eventful weekend. In fact, and I don't know what this will mean or not, we just had the announcement that Alex Stein is going to have Vic Mignogna on to talk about Nick Rekieta, and I hope that's a positive thing, honestly. Oh Lord, let me pull up that announcement real quick. I saw that and I thought, my God. Now again, there's no indication that it's going to be a negative thing. That is, it's just, when you have specific venues and like Alex Stein, I'm not expecting rainbows and crumpets. Then again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's all good to go. Again, I could be very well mistaken. Give me 1 second. I'm setting everything up real fast.
Yeah, I'll give the umbrella guy some credit. At least he recognizes that Alex Stein is generally opportunistic and problematic. And Vic Mignogna's truth about Nick Rekieta is obviously clickbait. Like, obviously clickbait. So... we do know that Nick Rekieta and Vic Mignogna were friendly because Nick Rekieta got him his lawyers and nobody knows what happened with that money. So it's obviously opportunistic clickbait. Is that appropriate? Is that something you should be doing in a situation like this when you're supposed to be somebody's friend? Probably not. Probably not a good look, but it got canceled anyway.
Hey, Twitter isn't working. Yay, Twitter! Stupid fucking Twitter. In the middle of it, I'm like, hey, I'm going to pull this announcement up. No, you're not. Okay, well, I'll come back to that in a second. But yeah, again, it's open for interpretation too. I mean, you got it says Vic Mignogna tells his side of the story about Nick Rekieta. You don't want to miss what is revealed, especially not you, RekietaLaw. So it tagged him in, and hopefully, like I said, I hope that's a positive thing. And the reason I say that, I'm not trying to make excuses for anyone or anything like that. These discussions are not about that. I think I've been very vocal in the fact that I personally think that Nick Rekieta needs help. I personally think he needs to get his ass offline. And
you've been very public about that after he got arrested and after it went public. That's the criticism people are having of you. People seem to have gotten in their heads one way or another, like whether that was something that Umbrella Guy had indicated or not, whether or not that was something that he intentionally indicated or not, or whether or not is true. People believe that Umbrella Guy knew that something was going on in the background with Nick Rekieta. In fact, a lot of people online were able to figure out some shit was going on with Nick Rekieta from his videos. So as somebody who was a purported friend who was close to him, you would have known that there was something going on with him and maybe have more details. You were not publicly saying that he needs help when he was sitting hanging around with you bashing on people. You've only said this after he got arrested and after he got busted. So you were perfect. You had no real issue with it publicly until public knew about it. So, you know, that's the criticism. Again, whether or not those things are literally true or how actually true they are is not relevant to the perception and how you address it. This isn't addressing it.
Not be posting because he has been posting. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of opinions. It's not my life though. I'm talking about specific items, and it's a weird place to be because typically you don't know people that are in these positions here, you know, and that's actually one of the reasons I wanted to talk about what we're discussing here today too. I wanted to make sure where he's been posting, locals, and he posted on Twitter today. He actually posted on Twitter too. So give me a second. Hey, there we go.
I didn't see the Twitter post, so this will be interesting, I'm sure. I agree with that Umbrella Guy. Nick shouldn't be posting. He should keep his head down. Maybe hire a PR manager.
Twitter actually loaded. Give me 1 minute. Yeah. He posted on Twitter today. One thing, but it was actually about Vic Mignogna. It was a comment to it. And I was just like, man, don't. You know, I realize the temptation to respond, it'd be rough. I mean, this is...
Tell us what he said first and then go into your explanation. What did he say? What did Nick Rekieta say in response to Vic Mignogna?
This is what he does all the time. You know, again, I'm not excusing behavior. In fact, I don't think he should be doing this at all. But there was an interview, and I'm not trying to get into the crazy rumors or you know what may have happened behind closed doors. That is not the purpose for this. I mean, there's plenty of shows like Kino Casino. They covered that. Yeah, Ethan, you know, all these people. They cover that, and fine. That's totally fine. That is the internet. In fact, that was part of Rekieta circles too. I mean, he's covered things that have happened with them. So I mean, that's part of it.
He's literally saying that Nick Rekieta does the thing that he's complaining about. But it shouldn't happen to Nick. Again, where was this publicly before he got caught? You know what I mean? Oh, sorry about the echo. So Rekieta posted on Twitter in response to Vic Mignogna, presumably in response to Alex Stein, right? Well then. RekietaLaw, Twitter. I don't think I'm blocked by Rekieta. I don't know why I would be. May 27th. Oh, is this it? Oh, that's it? Okay. This is what he posted. Just so we have the context of what the hell Tug is talking about. So, somebody had said Nick would trash Vic a lot if he'd trash his sexuality, said it wasn't his fault, it was Vic's fault. Bro. Yeah, right. Now this guy is a calculus equation as credibility approaches negative infinity. Basically, they're saying that Nick Rekieta, if Vic was in this situation, Nick Rekieta would have tossed him under the bus and just been like a dick. And like questioned his sexuality and been an asshole to him, you know, the way Nick Rekieta is. And Rekieta's like, no, I wouldn't be like that. And that is what Tug is talking about. Okay, now that we know what you were talking about, go on.
I'm not... I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do that. But he responded to this. So you have... This is Mr. Medicare. Okay, actually, let me zoom in on what he's responded to here. So he actually posted a few of the comments that that were covered. You know, there's quite a few of them actually, but he posted this specific one. It was interesting. There's certain things that I think that.
It's just kind of fucking hard to see. Hold on, let me see if I can fix this. Let's do this. Is that better? Why does this look like it's shitty StreamYards again? Why does everybody use fucking StreamYards, man? God damn. Yeah, you noticed that too, eh? Fuck, dude. Ugh. Alright.
Understandably might be trigger points for Rekieta. He's mentioned them in his locals, for example, when he local posted. He mentioned family. Come after me, don't come after family. That's understandable. Also, the Vic Mignogna thing. Apparently, that was something that he was like, that's messed up. I mean, anything with that Aaron guy. Again, I'm not getting into the Aaron thing, pro or con. I have certain speculations. I personally wonder, again...
Locals is another social media site that came out after Twitter, when Elon Musk was blowing Twitter up.
This is wonder. This is not saying it happened, but I wonder, even with the discussions about the warrant, I wonder if he called in and talked. You know, it's interesting they went after safes and stuff, but again, that's all speculation. I don't know that, so it doesn't help me.
Do not speculate that somebody, that a particular person on the internet was calling and reporting falsely on somebody. You should know better. You should know better. I know that you said it was speculation, but you're saying this to your fan base. You don't have a small fan base. You have 395,000 subscribers. Not in an active case. Did he not say on Twitter that he was like, oh, you know, I don't really want to, I don't want to make this more problematic, and I want to wait, and I want to blah, 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 blah. And then he's out here speculating, and he's out here being like, well, we don't have that information. We have that information. We know who called it in. It was church members. It was church members that were concerned for his safety, according to the police. Are you saying this person is one of the church members? Or are you saying that the police are lying in their report? Like, what are you getting at? And, like, I know you prefaced it by saying, like, oh, well, I'm just speculating, and I can't even do that. And he's like, but that doesn't even help me. This is cope. He's trying to find excuses. He is purposefully looking for excuses for Rekieta. And, like, I get that, but maybe... check yourself before you wreck yourself, because when you do shit like that, you end up saying things that are gonna get people hurt. You gotta be careful with shit like that, dude. And like, I get it, it's hard. Sorry, don't mind this. I'm putting this over here so you guys are easier to see. Whoops. Let's go about there. I'm just fixing chat. I cannot with this kind of stuff. This, like, realistically, this turns into one of those situations where, like, literally nobody should be saying anything like this. That is not better. This was a terrible choice of color. That isn't better at all. Alright, I'll pick something else. Hold on. Let me get something. Let me get something else. I was gonna make something nice, but this, I've realized that this is gonna be, I'm gonna be sitting here watching Umbrella Guy forever now. So, yay. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, wrong spot. You guys want to be a chalkboard? Maybe that'll be better. You can use the Dumbfuck Friday chalkboard. Let's try that instead. Hey, there you go. That's better. That's much better. Put you guys, like, right there. Winky face. There we go. What? Oh, oh, give me the blackboard. Give this. Thank you. Oh, you're gonna be a dick. I see how this is. Fine. Fine. Yo, what up? Welcome. I'm just fixing Twitch chat so you guys are actually visible because everything I've been covering recently doesn't want you guys to be visible. Now you're visible. It's not perfect, but, you know, it'll do for now. There. There! Done. I hope you feel seen. There! Chat. The most important part of the stream. Alright, so... the fuck was this guy going on about again? I've already forgotten. Oh right, he's painting some random Twitter user who has been critical of Nick Rekieta as potentially being somebody who was calling in reports to the police. Which would have to be false reports because how the fuck is this guy supposed to know? As opposed to what the actual reports say, which is members from Nick's church had gone to the police to report concerns for children and substance abuse. And then the police found the children in questionable environment, drugs all over the place, drug paraphernalia all over the place, and an improperly kept gun and ammo in the master bedroom. So, go on.
You know, if I let my mind go down that tunnel, there's so many what ifs. I have reached out, by the way, and been like, you know, I mean, I've been pretty, I think, blunt about stuff. You know, like I think he has a need, and it is overstepping bounds. Like we don't have that relationship where we like idly talk and, you know, DM and stuff like that. But I mean, not DM, but phone text, DM every now and then. Although I have to say, like a lot of people that knew Rekieta, I haven't talked to him in a while. Nothing against him, but the stuff that he covers and the sex talk, all that, that's just, it's not me, man. I don't want to.
does the timing of the time that you kind of stop being around Rekieta, whatever, happen to line up with his perceived change in attitude and behavior surrounding drugs? I like how your issue with Rekieta is his talking about sex and being inappropriate that way, not his behavior and how he covers people and how he bullies people. That's not your issue. You're fine with that. The issue is is that he talks about sex sometimes. Okay. Sure. Okay. Why not? Of course. And again, we're like, before you said as a friend, you implied that you had tried to talk to him in private. And now you're distancing yourself? But are you? Okay. You seem to be wishy-washy on this one. Maybe you shouldn't have streamed so soon. Maybe you should have waited until things have come out so you weren't spinning bullshit like you said. Because he stated, right? He said, where did he say it? You hadn't talked to the guy for a while and came out swinging on his side. By the way, this is like, I want to scream, wake up and stop. I know this and how this ends without intervention. The police are the intervention right now. Yeah, see? Yeah, there's no joke discussing what happened with Rekieta. Not for you, maybe. It's tragic as fuck. Somebody getting caught doing illegal stuff? Oh, sorry. I forgot I changed the camera around. I changed the layout. Oh, God. There. Anyway, he had pointed out, he had pointed out that, that he wanted to wait and share actual facts, not speculate bullshit, and then the first thing he's doing on his stream is speculating bullshit. I just thought I would point that out.
To be there, and that's not moral judgment or anything else. It's not for me, you know. I didn't want to be around it, and I felt that he was sliding. I did, but I hadn't watched him in a long time. It wasn't until the big live stream that people brought up that I think it became obvious. But anyway, so he responds to this, and Nick, this is a quote, by the way. Nick would trash Vic, talking about Vic Mignogna a lot. He would trash his sexuality, said it wasn't his fault. It said it wasn't his fault. It was Vic's fault. And he's like, bro. So Nick decided he would respond to this. Again, you know, you shouldn't be looking at this anyway, Nick. Just don't. You know, in this storm, the internet is the...
I actually might have misinterpreted that tweet as well. That person might be quoting saying that, like, Nick was attacking Vic's sexuality and stuff, but I'm not 100% sure.
One thing that you shouldn't look at, it's like throwing a drowning man a bucket of water. You know, it's not gonna work for you. You know that. It's just going to take you down, and it's going to take you down faster. You can respond.
I agree. I think people who are suffering from addiction probably should not be engaging with social media that is discussing addiction. or is talking about them in particular when there's a big blowout like this. If you're suffering from addiction and you're trying to get away from, then you need to get away from negative toxicity. And in Nick Rekieta's case, his whole channel is toxic. Like he thrives on the toxicity. That's how he was making his money, right? So, honestly, in this kind of a situation, staying away from social media is actually very good advice and very good PR advice. On the side note, you're adding to the problem, Tug. You started speculating right at the beginning. You started with apologetics out the gate. You're enabling, without contention, Nick Rekieta's statements to go out, and you're helping facilitate him spinning a narrative and gaslighting people. You're part of the problem. That you're stating is a problem. Why wouldn't he watch somebody who's supposedly supporting him's stuff? Right? Then again, you could say the same thing to me, right? You could say, well, you're not helping the problem with Rekieta. I'm like, well, one, Rekieta doesn't know I exist. And two, I'm not trying to help him. It's not, I don't care. I'm not so arrogant as to think that me talking about something or not talking about something is going to be the definitive line. But if you'll notice, I'm also not bashing Rekieta. I'm also not bashing Umbrella Guy. I'm not bashing their followers. I'm taking an analytical approach to the scenario. Right.
Onto it later. We get everything ready first. Get it all. Get it all in a place where, again, you can really formulate your thoughts, respond to things, be honest too, because people love a redemption arc. You know, but he responded. He was like, yeah, right. Now this guy is a calculus equation as credibility approaches negative infinity. Now, you see there are a lot of comments there too. I mean, this is the one thing, and a lot of people, of course, you're going to have comments about, I'm going to say some tactless things, maybe. I don't know. Again, you know what kind of comments you're going to get, but a lot of these comments are like, bro, get off the internet, man. You shouldn't be here. You have important things going on, and this isn't it, you know? I mean, honestly, it'll run a couple of this cycle. It'll come up periodically. It'll boost up, but all the noise about it, well, it'll 4 weeks. And I'm not saying it's easy to sit through either. It is.
He's missing part of the point. Nick Rekieta literally said he's trying to grift it. He wants the attention. He likes that everybody's talking about him, according to him. He thinks he can take advantage of that for, like, his channel or whatever. So, what do you mean? He literally said he was going to do, like, the jail stories and the good things about getting your house raided by the police. He literally called it a grift. Like, what? Nick is going to engage in social media because he thinks it's beneficial for him to do so. He's going to try and take advantage of the situation from that standpoint.
Not fun sitting through an internet cycle when you become the punchline. It is not fun.
Why, Umbrella Guy? Why is when you become the punchline of the internet cycle not fun? Is it because of sensationalist YouTubers compounding the problem instead of talking about the facts of the matter and engaging in their fan base, and their fan base then engaging to, like, harass people that are going through something? The call is coming from inside the house, dude. If the first thing he hadn't done was speculate and immediately take the person that Nick Rekieta's retweeting here and throwing them under the bus, I would have less of a problem with what you just said.
or you're the topic of discussion. Wouldn't say, I'm not, by the way, people ask, I smoke a cigar. It would be very tactless of me to do something else. I do not do anything else. But in this,
that wouldn't be tactless, that'd be hypocritical.
Some of it gets, I'm like, ah. So I'm going to calm, mellow, smoke a cigar. I just, otherwise, I want to yell at somebody. Like I said with this, I was like, man, don't read the online stuff, man. You focus on your real life.
It's always a weird flex to me when somebody's like, if I don't drink or I don't smoke this thing, I'm gonna freak out, I'm gonna lose my mind, I'm gonna yell at somebody. It's like, so you don't have self-control and you need substance to maintain that control. And you chose to go live in that state. I would have, again, whoopee fucking do in like, right, like, I don't care if people use substances. The abuse part can get problematic for a lot of different things, but like a conversation about legality is a different conversation. For the sake of what we're talking about, though, I don't particularly care if you like to smoke marijuana to mellow out or chill out because you're high strung about a topic or something and you want to chill out when you're trying to manage or deal with the stress, right? I'm not gonna tell people they can't have their stress relievers, whatever those may be, cigar, coffee, tea, whatever it might be. Marijuana maybe, if it's legal where you're at. But if you're in that kind of a state, that umbrella guy is describing what Nick Rekieta is doing and saying Nick Rekieta shouldn't be doing it, and then is doing it himself. If that umbrella guy is that stressed out about somebody that he says he hasn't even really spoken to very much in the last little while and doesn't agree with some of his content, if he's that stressed out to talk about it, that he needs to that he's going to yell at somebody and he needs to smoke a cigar to not yell at somebody, maybe you shouldn't be pressing the go live button yet. Maybe you should wait until you've calmed down, have your cigar, calm down, figure out what you want to say, what you want to do, wait until like the stress has passed, you have the information, and then go live, which is literally the exact advice he just gave to Rekieta. The only times I go live when I'm angry is when it's controlled live. Like when it's controlled anger. Like if I'm angry or I'm outraged about something that I'm like, wow, this is outrageous, and I'm going to be outraged by it because I want to talk about how outrageous this was. And Manya, for example, with the CAS report. If Manya was upset to the point where she was like not in control, then we wouldn't have talked about it that day. We would have sat on it and waited a little while. If I'm upset about something or I'm outraged by something to the point where I can't control it, then I'm not gonna go stream about it until I can. It's really a straightforward thing, and it's something that, like, I think this is advice that all streamers should take. Don't actually stream when you're angry if you are not in control of that anger. It's just not a good thing to do.
Now, what happened? Options. Find your options there. You know what this tells me, too? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this. I don't believe that Nick has a lawyer yet. That's my guess. I do not believe.
He doesn't. He doesn't have a lawyer. You could have known this information. This information was already available as of yesterday. He doesn't have a lawyer. He's representing himself.
He actually has a lawyer. Because any lawyer would tell you to stay the fuck offline. That'd be the very first thing they would tell you. Stay offline. Don't talk about this stuff at all. Like, say nothing. Talk to no one. Vent it, don't let it eat you. For this stuff, I mean, I'm just frustrated. I've never been so conflicted on covering something.
Did you catch that? That vent it, what he just said, vent it, don't bottle it up. Vent it, don't eat it, don't let it eat one up, was a comment made by a member on his channel named Open Minded. I can see it it's behind you guys. This is what I mean. He's being encouraged by his live chat when he is like that umbrella guy is being encouraged by his live chat to just be angry. Just let it out, say whatever it is that you want to say, because they want the tea, they want the entertainment. And that's not to say that they're bad people. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I don't know. I don't have a high expectation for that umbrella guy's community, because of the way he covers things. Is like, again, buddy, totally fine with the way like Nick Rekieta handles things. So like, I haven't done that much research to find out what his community is actually like, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that you're on a live stream, you're in a state where you're unstable and not well in control of your emotional state, and your chat is encouraging you to do the thing that you already want to do. You want to vent, you want to be angry, you've already said that, and you're trying to control it, and you're struggling, and you're utilizing a substance to not do that on live stream, and then you're reading out the comments that are encouraging you to do that thing, and the internet is always going to encourage you in that direction. Very rarely will you find, right, do it. Like, very rarely will you find people not egging you on in a live chat. Like, that's gonna happen. So this is one of the reasons why you don't go live. You have to wait. Oh, you're looking up that umbrella guy or RekietaLaw, because good luck!
Or not. And it took me a few discussions. Luckily for me, I talked about this the day before the arrest, because that live stream was so bad that he was in that I was like, man, he's gonna die. He's gonna die online. Now, I actually heard a few people say that
that umbrella guy purports to be a mental health professional. You would think it's hard for me to believe that he is both a mental health professional and didn't know what was going on with Rekieta to some degree, and then also turn around and say that like he was worried for him, and he's like, oh my god, what the fuck? Like, that stream was a little while ago. Yeah, Rekieta's a character. Put it that way. Where's generic so you can go over this and analyze Rekieta? I don't think there's much to analyze about Rekieta. I think he's pretty straightforward. He's a very what you see is what you get kind of guy. There's not a whole lot of he's not exactly subtle, we'll put it that way.
He's starting to get stuff sorted and everything. I don't know. I mean, again, there's talk, but it sounds like things are coming to, and then I see this. I'm like, I don't know what to believe. I think, again, this is not a good sign of where you are. And if
no, you know what to believe. You just don't want to believe it because you were friends with this person, and that's fair. That's reasonable. That's a thing that happens. But the fact that you're recognizing it and then you're going out of your way. You even said at the beginning that you were going out of your way to try to like figure things out and you're struggling and you're conflicted. Yeah.
When I talk about this too, we're going to look at the discussion today. We're actually going to look at about 14 minutes of what Mr. Medicare had to say. The end of his stream was great, to be honest. Jim did he could have been really hard with Nick, but you could tell that he liked the guy. I mean, yes, there's certain things that are punchlines right now, but he did it I thought for him, like he's the only person online that truly scares me to cover. So for him to cover and Rekieta walk away and me think, yeah, he could rebound, I mean, that says, that says he liked him. That said he liked
saying that everybody is going easy on him is not a flex.
Liked him quite a bit, because otherwise, whew. But that last 14 minutes was, was it worth it? I thought that was a good message, and hopefully he listened to it. Now, I get the feeling from this statement right here too that he's been listening to Aaron. In fact, I've gotten the feeling just from a couple of other things that I've heard. Again, not talking out of school or anything. I get the feeling he's listening, and he watched this stuff with Aaron. I get that feeling, and that is bad. I realize the temptation that's there. If you haven't been keeping up, by the way, that third person that was arrested. There's been a lot of stuff disgusted about. Disgusted. It is disgusting. Some of the discussed about them. Again, you can. If you want to know about it, again, Kino Casino, places like that. That's what they talk about. But that guy Aaron was her soon-to-be ex-husband, and they talked about some things that allegedly happened behind the scenes. That, like I said, that's not... The only reason I bring that up is because that's what this comment is about. That's exactly what this discussed. So it's not me bringing that up. This comment, and it opens it up.
I haven't watched that Umbrella Guy in a while. Is he always this, like, wiry about his language? Is he always trying to, like, kids gloves and pad everything? Like, what point is, like... What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word. Hold on. Oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for? Not pulling punches. Everything he's saying, he's adding caveats to it. Right? So this is, the language is not confident. Everything has, like, cushion to what he's saying. No, not hypocrite. Convoluted, no, not quite. Kids gloves a little bit. Oh my god, brain. It is a little bit weaselly language, but that's not quite what I'm working for. It's close to weaseling. It's everything's got an excuse or a reason behind what he's saying and why he's saying it that is not his fault. Everything has got, like, everything's got padding to it. Fuck, what is the word? Oh, this is gonna drive me crazy. Prefacing, yeah, he's prefacing everything. Thank you. I knew somebody would get it. Thank you for saving me from myself. He's prefacing everything. And it's not even, like, it's not even good prefacing. Like, there still isn't really a very good explanation of what this commenter is talking about. I think I'm back to I was correct in my assessment that if Vic was in this situation, Rekieta would be doing this to him. So I was still right about that, but what it's referencing is something more than just the drugs. It's referencing some alleged, like, affair or wife swapping, I think is what Alex Stein said. That, like, Rekieta, like, April, who is Aaron's ex-wife, was staying at Rekieta's house and her stuff was found in the master bedroom, and so there's, like, was Nick sleeping with this April woman who was Aaron's ex-wife, who's another YouTuber. So it's like, well, if they're exes, it doesn't really matter, but it does in Rekieta's sense, because Rekieta presents himself as, like, a good Christian man, so, like, as a traditional husband, it becomes problematic if you're, sleeping with more people than just your wife. So, Well, I mean, it's not like Vic Mignogna wasn't fucking around on the side either. Like, Vic Mignogna had multiple girlfriends at a time and is sleeping with people and isn't married and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, birds of a feather flock together until the cat comes, and the cat being the police, and look at what's going on. This isn't... Go figure.
Here's the problem with this comment too, is it opens all of this up for public conversation. So people that might have not heard that, because again, you know, that's a different sector of the internet, like internet blood sports or whatever the hell it's called now. I don't know what internet blood sports are. I don't know what, like Ethan Ralph and you know, again, no negative to anybody I'm talking about. It's just this specific thing. To me, I know them. I know them back from the mundane Matt. You know, no Matt, no. I know him from all that stuff. So I don't really know what.
Side note: there's no value in blaming Aaron for any of this stuff. To be like, oh well, Nick's listening to his fling's ex-husband. Like, what a weird thing to speculate.
What they're called anymore, but those folks, they had interviews, like I said, and everything, and Nick is watching this. Now, on top of that, he's posting locals posts, and there have been a few. Now, the first one that came up, actually, if it would have been preceded by, I get there's a legal portion to all of this stuff, too. So there could be the argument for why he's not in rehab yet, but, you know, the first post, like the day of the arrest, I'm going to, you know, there was one that just happened just a minute ago. This is why I mentioned this. The first one could have been funny if it was followed by, hey, now I'm going to rehab, you know, or something. Or, hey, now I'm, you know, I know there's a lot going on. Again, it could have danced around it, whatever, you know. And I get there's some probably legal considerations, but I'm not a lawyer. I work in mental health, and for me to see this stuff, I think he was in crisis.
For somebody who's built their channel off of covering lawsuits.
Honestly, as far as drug use is concerned, that would be an actual technical term. He was in crisis. Like when you saw him on stream, he was that far down. And now I don't know how you can tell.
When you saw him on stream, you could tell. Remember when I said that I didn't believe that the umbrella guy didn't realize or know there was shit going on in the background with Rekieta? Oh, wow. Looks like I was correct.
Tell me with this circus that's going on that he is not in a mental health crisis right now. And what we've run into here, and I think Viva and Barnes brought this up very good. That's why I wanted to have this discussion today. They were talking about the legal aspects versus what you know. You know, like what I see and observe as a mental health provider. When I see this, I know he needs help. I want him to get help. That is not the same as trust the police. There's also something that's disturbing.
Yeah, the police aren't there to help you. That's not the police's job. So, yeah, he needs help, and right now the police are acting as the intervention. And the police can, like, detain you and keep drugs away from you, but, you know... This is very deep. Yeah, this is a deep hole. This is a deep-ass rabbit hole that involves, like, the legal YouTube sphere, like, that all those legal YouTubers that have all been, like, kind of, like, hunkering down and constantly protecting each other. Yeah. So, Nick Rekieta, who is one of them, who's just kind of an asshole and has gone after people really hard before and, like, harassed people. He did the as far as I know, I've only seen Legal Eagle mentioned once in a tweet, So as far as I can tell, Legal Eagle is not involved as far as I know currently. From my understanding, Legal Eagle kind of existed as a tertiary YouTube legal person. Like, he didn't really like involve himself as like a community member. He was more like, yeah, I also do this and I might know some of these people, but he kind of existed in his own space. From my understanding of the sphere. So take that with a grain of salt, but from what I know and what I can tell, Legal Eagle is not part of this. So far.
Me too, and I want to note this as well. I have seen people railing against the mandatory reporter, the pastor that came out and made a report.
So he knew that the people that had reported were not the person he just decided to throw under the bus. That was the person who tweeted something critical of Rekieta. Somebody was critical of Rekieta, they tweeted something, Rekieta retweeted that person, and then that umbrella guy immediately speculated that maybe that person was one of the people reporting, when we know that it was people from the church that reported him. And so I was giving that umbrella guy shit for being like, well, this information was already public, why wouldn't you know that and then speculate instead? But it turns out he did know that and speculated anyway. Wow, dude, what are you doing? Do you think this is helping your friend? Because that's how you're presenting yourself. You're presenting yourself as somebody who doesn't want to make the problem worse, but feels obligated to talk about it. You're out here fucking making it worse.
That seems to be all indication. I haven't seen anyone go contra. I would think that would be corrected if we haven't seen the entire document. I don't even know where the hell we can't confirm that whole document there. But it looks like there was a pastor that went in. Again, a mandatory reporter. You know, you told about something. People have been, that person's name came out, as well as the names of the all the kids, which is horrible. And there have been people out there that have been blaming the pastor and targeting them. And obviously nobody would, that's insane. There are people like, oh, he did that to cover his own ass. Well, not really. Well, what it is, you know, you tell me, if you find out about a situation where a child is potentially in danger and you want a wellness check, that's what a mandatory reporter asks for. If you look at that first document, we don't know how it went from there to where they went into the home. Because I can tell you, I can tell you from the mental health side of that, as a mandatory reporter, I've had to do this.
Yes, we do. We know exactly how it went from there to a warrant. We read it already. It's right here. The police officer... Oh, hold on. Let me fix that for you so you guys can see. Whoop. The police officer in the state of Minnesota made an application for the warrant for the premises and the persons for controlled substance. And their reasoning behind it was part of the case background. Reporter indicated that Nick Rekieta resides in this place, and at his residence his wife was there, blah, blah, blah. The church had gone to him reporting neglect to the children and possible controlled substance use. It was reported that he is a social media blogger, blah, 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 blah. Social media, strictly online. It was reported that they were staying with Nick Rekieta and that the home was in disarray and cluttered. It was reported from the church preschool teacher, and the children had complained. So if you want to blame anybody for Nick Rekieta getting caught, it was his own kids tattling to the teacher that they were complained about being hungry and not being fed, and that they had been wearing the clothes, and that they had started to smell. That's how. What do you mean we don't know how it got from reporting to a warrant? Nick was reported of being lethargic and appearing high on drugs and driving a car around. Another individual advised that reported that Nick will walk out randomly during sermons at church and notice behavioral changes. That they had lost weight recently. Described him as having injection tracks on his arms. Then the police started to review Rekieta's media blogs, social media posts. We know exactly how fucking we got from point A to point B, Umbrella Guy. It is all fucking laid out right here. Whether or not you agree with it being correct or a proper procedure, that's a different question, but it is very clearly described and explained about how they got from point A to point B. Why wouldn't there be a warrant?
It's a shitty place. You don't want to do that, but
why not? Wait, no. Why do you feel like you're in a shitty place for reporting children being abused? For being a mandatory reporter, for protecting children? Why are you presenting this? This is what I mean. You should not be, we're not prepared for this stream. You weren't ready for it. You were conflicted. You didn't know what you wanted to say. And so everything you're saying is trying to be in defense of Rekieta. When the mandatory reporter was reporting Rekieta potentially abusing his kids and his kids complaining of neglect. And now you're saying that being a mandatory reporter, you never want to be that and you never want to be in that place, when the mandatory reporter's job in this scenario was to report and protect children. Why is protecting children a shitty place to be?
I found out from a person one time, for example, that there was a live-in boyfriend that this person had, and they had a small child, and the person that they had moved in, their live-in boyfriend right then, was, I'm going to say, a PDF file. You got to call about that because you worry about the kid. Now, the way it's been spun, you know, again, I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying, by no stretch of the imagination am I comparing that. I'm saying, in that situation there, am I protecting myself? No. So when the pastor goes in and says they're worried about something, like there's a specific protocol. And again, I'm not comparing the two. I'm just talking about mandatory reporters. I want to make that very clear there. With a mandatory reporter, you hear about something, it is your obligation. Like if you've heard that there's been something horrible that's happened in the past, but there's no chance of repeat, you know, it's not happening in the present, or it's not going to be a consideration in the future, that doesn't trigger that consideration. It's only in specific, elements or environments that's there. And again, it could be doctors, nurses, And, there was a legal discussion about that, too. They're actually, Beav and Barnes, they were talking, and love to them, I don't mean anything negative when I talk about any of them either. They were talking about that, and they were like, from a client's perspective.
He just kind of... okay. That was... There's quite a bit to unpack. So... Problem one... Mandatory reporting is about protecting the children. Yes, we all agree about that. I don't know why you think being a mandatory reporter in this case is a shitty place to be and why you would never want to be put in a position where you're protecting children. That seems like a pretty good place to exist. It doesn't mean it's not difficult, but it seems like a pretty, it's not like you're the one dragging kids away from their family. You're just a mandatory reporter. Why you brought up the example about that you said that you had experienced about pedophilia is interesting. The fact that you felt that you needed to immediately jump to defending that you were not trying to imply that anything that had happened to these kids or there was somebody or a predator around those children. Quite a bit of protesting about that. And also, one other thing to unpack, this idea that mandatory report, I feel like he's just trying to explain mandatory reporting, but he was talking about how the pastor of this church is being shit on and never got to the conclusion of, you shouldn't be shitting on this guy for protecting kids. That's the point. That's the point of what you were saying. At least that's the point you should have been trying to get to. Instead of, like, whatever the fuck ramble we just heard. Hi, Rez, good to see you. Thanks for swinging by. Whew. Like I said at the beginning, we're probably not going to watch this entire thing, but...
Yeah, I tell them, well, you can't talk to anybody. Well, you know, on the same side of that, like, these laws may suck sometimes, but at the same time, they save lives too. Because there are situations where you want somebody to go out and discuss. And again, that should trigger a welfare check, though. That is a CPS check, where CPS knocking at your door. You know, that's not typically a warrant with somebody, you know, coming to knock your door. And typically there's more.
I need to check something. I'm sorry, I have to. Was this the first video and only video 3 weeks ago live? Okay, no, he did a live before this. Okay, I was concerned that this was the first live that he had done because this was the first one that I had seen. No, he did a video going over the arrest and the laws. So he knows everything that we went over and everything that we... So why is he talking about it like he's speculating? Why is he talking about it like that we don't know some of the facts of the matter? We know exactly how we got from point A to point B here. It's literally written in the report. The report that the umbrella guy presumably covered, right? Like, he covered the arrest warrant, did he not? Minnesota statutes. Has he not seen the... What's he looking at? What is this? These are the statutes. Yeah, these aren't... He's looking at the... Wow, he's looking at the statutes. He's on the statute screen for like an hour, and then all he read was the Fox 9 article. So we read the Fox 9 article on Friday, so 4 days ago. We've seen the warrants, right? We've seen all this. This has been out for a while, and so he hasn't... Holy shit. Okay. So the warrants and the details haven't been presented to his audience properly. So he's talking to them like he's saying that we don't know about this or we don't know about that, when we absolutely do know about this and that because it's in these reports. But he hasn't covered these reports. Why isn't he covering these? Does he talk about them later? What are we at? We're at just under 20 minutes. What's this? Oh, that's the complaint. That's 2 other people talking about it. That's the arrest picture. That's the Nick looks so unimpressed. That's an amusing mugshot. But so he doesn't cover the warrant, but complains that, well, we don't know about things. It's like, no, we know these things. We don't know how they got from point A to point B. Yes, we do. We absolutely know those things. They're in the report. They're in the warrant. You would need to read the warrant. It says RekietaLaw warrant issues, but he hasn't presented the warrant. That's a problem. That's a big problem. Oh yeah, I can TLDR you, Rez, real quick. RekietaLaw got arrested. We talked about it on Friday. The warrant has been made public, as well as some of his defense and some of... There's been some pish-posh back and forth on Twitter and on the internet, and that umbrella guy is trying, it seems to me, to spin a narrative and defend Rekieta by misrepresenting and mispresenting or not presenting information. I was being really nice about this. And being really charitable, and being like, well, you know, maybe he doesn't know or maybe he didn't see. No, I'm not. No, he purposefully doesn't have the warrant showing here in this video. He doesn't show the warrant in this video, and he's got a video titled Law Warrant Issues, and he hasn't actually presented the warrant. There's no issues with the warrant, dude.
What was discussed in we don't have all of the information of what led up through those days, because it happened on the 16th. You know, you had the report, and then you have around a week pass. So a lot of time passed, and we don't know exactly what built up during that time. But, so we had this first.
We don't need to know exactly every single detail. What we have is the details of what was put forward in the warrant and the justification for the warrant. This was hold on. Let me double check something. This was available before the stream went live. I'm very confident. I lost my Discord. Where's Discord? Discord, where'd you go? Oh, there it is. Oh, lag. There we go. Hold on. Yeah, the search warrant information was available. Or had been available. So, and here's the thing. Again, even if the umbrella guy didn't have the warrant, like, let's say he didn't have the warrant. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's give him the charity and say he didn't have the warrant, didn't see the warrant. He said at the beginning, and he said on Twitter, that he would rather wait for the information to go out and get information out properly than getting wild accusations and speculation going around. And then he's doing this stream talking about the warrant that he doesn't have access to, and if he doesn't have, and he would have access to it. So he's not doing the thing that he's saying he wants to do. Yeah, he covered a lot of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp stuff. Yeah. Yep.
Let me do this. I don't want this to linger here. So then you had the second. You've had a few of these posts, all right? And I don't know if they're all up on locals. That's why I'm pulling them this way. You had the second one. And the second and the third were on the 24th. So you're talking about when all of this happened, and now you've had new ones again, you know, after everything went crazy. So about the news. Hey, obviously a lot has happened. I'm sorry for legal purposes. It must be reiterated that the sorry is for the disruption. Is no way related to any pending legal actions. Man, Peagle. Man, today in the English language for me are rough. I don't know why. But
you don't know why? It's because you're conflicted, it's because you're stressed out, and it's because you're angry and you don't really know what to do. So your brain is scattered, and he said he was smoking a cigar to try to keep his temper under control. That's why. It's very clear why. This isn't a mystery, dude.
Again, legalese. Hey, yeah, I'm sorry for that disruption. That said, please realize that no one has the full story or picture on anything. And I'm sure that's very true. You know, certain things I think are probably explainable. You know, there's certain things in the police documentation that I'll show you that I think, But anyway, you're not going to have the whole picture. But I think that also talks about the other elements. You know, all we've heard so far is this guy, Aaron, talking about that. I mean, who knows? And really, I don't... If you have an issue, because I've heard people, again, I'm just going to be...
Stop. Just why? Why are you live? Why are you streaming right now? Take your own advice. Stop what you're doing. Just stop. Stop. Get yourself collected. Take a chill pill, and then come back when you're prepared to talk about this. I understand that people might be like itching for you to talk about it and pressuring you to talk about it, and people might be critical of you taking so long to talk about it, but sometimes those are just the hits you have to take. Oh, brother. Oh, thank you. I will do this. I'll do the stretch. Holy jeez.
Blunt about this. I'm not dancing. Again, I'm not trying to explain things away. People have had problems with it because of Nick's platform before versus now. Like, hey, look at what was said before, like kids being around and stuff, and look what's said now. And
What? No, the problem that people have had with Nick Rekieta is that he's a fucking bully. That's the problem that people have with Nick Rekieta. He's a bully. He's been a bully. He weaponizes his audience against people. This isn't new information. He's a fucking troll. He just uses legalese to justify it and make people like and to condescend to people. That's not new. This is long old criticisms of Nick Rekieta that he's had for a very, very, very long time. So I don't know why you're trying to pretend something else, and I don't know what that has to do with the first paragraph of this little blurb here. It's completely unrelated.
And obviously there's anger, but we don't know everything. So there's gonna be a lot more of this, I think, is what I'm saying. I don't think anybody has the whole story. It's possible no one ever will. That's true. That's probably true. We will probably never have every answer there. Nothing reported is accurate. That's not their fault. I've seen so many supportive messages. Thank you for that. I'll still be doing stuff. I'm home now.
Nothing to say about the no report is accurate. Nothing to say about that. You're not really. Okay. Sure.
Stay tuned for show announcements and stuff here on Locals. And, I was torn. I was torn on this because I personally feel rehab now. That was my thought right then. Rehab now. It's not just there's three things there. No matter how you feel about Doc, and again, he's innocent until proven guilty as far as the charges are concerned. Absolutely. Having said that, I know that he was having problems. I could see it. I'm not fucking blind. I do this as a professional.
So he's guilty of at least the drug possession, is what he's saying. He's like, about the child neglect, I don't know. About the gun, we don't know. About the drugs, he was definitely doing drugs. So he's guilty of the drug, at least. To some degree, is what he's saying. As a professional. He's saying this in a professional capacity as a healthcare provider.
There's a bunch of bullshit if you're going to tell me he doesn't have it.
By the way, if Nick Rekieta gets acquitted, like if he doesn't get charged, then by saying something like this, that umbrella guy, theoretically, if we want to speculate, could open himself up to a defamation lawsuit from Rekieta.
A substance abuse problem. They'll call that out every time. That is, he can argue that. Other people can argue that. That's bullshit. The man I saw there, yeah, 100%. I would say he's in crisis. He needed intervention then. Now, all the other stuff, again, that gets mixed in there. But as far as rehab, you're going to have the child endangerment thing. You're going to have CPS involved in your life. Rehab says, hey, I'm responsible. I'm getting everything sorted. I'm doing it right now. And they're the most dangerous thing out of this. Everybody's focused on the potential 25 years. You can get the weight down on that potentially. There's a lot of...
No, the thing that people are mostly focused on is the child endangerment. That seems to be the biggest issue, that people are like, oh my fucking god, these poor kids. That is the majority of, at least what I've seen. Not necessarily due to the information that's out there. Oh, do you mind elaborating? At this point, there is adequate reasons to believe as to what is happening. Yeah, I agree with you. You're criticizing that, like, we don't know the whole story. We don't have a whole ton of information. Yeah. No, I agree with you, Feline. If there's not a whole ton of information, why is this a 3.5 hour live stream, by the way? About your friend. This guy's supposed to be your friend, and you're sitting here farming, and you're trying to say that, hey, people making up stories and shit and farming for views and shit and speculating isn't a good thing. As you sit here and do that thing, and he's making money. Like, I can see the side chat. He's got money coming in for this. This has nearly 40k views. 49,199 views on it. Like, brother. How do we know you're not the opportunist? Saying that you're his friend, but you're not his friend, but you're his friend, but you're not his friend.
Things you could do to handle that. First time offense. I mean, really, you're probably talking probation. But when CPS comes into your life, they're scary. They are a scary organization. Like I said, I've seen them.
Oh man, yeah, poor Rekieta. We feel so bad for poor Rekieta. He put his kids in danger, and now he's going to be held responsible and made sure that those kids are actually taken care of for the rest of the time. Wow, poor guy. Unbelievable. Brother. Do you actually understand the words that you are currently saying and what those words mean? Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh, even as a lawyer, don't represent yourself. Yeah, don't represent yourself. Get a lawyer. Anybody smart enough will get a lawyer. Always get a lawyer. Shut up and get a lawyer. Also, as far as we know, we don't know what the brown crap that they found in Nick's house is yet.
And they have...
Yeah, poor Nick.
When there was an incident where they were fighting in Texas with... what, the governor there? I can't remember exactly. It was a high-placed politician, and they couldn't stop what was going on. It tells you how much power they have. So, you go out of your way.
You mean high-tier politicians are not above the law, and CPS is just because you're a politician doesn't mean you can't abuse you're allowed to abuse your children, and CPS are going to stop that no matter who you are? That's good? Why is that scary? That's what you want? This is a weird rant. This is a weird tangent that he's gone off on about CPS here. Has Tug had issues with CPS in the past? Is that why? Like, is he what has CPS caused him issues for some reason? Like, why are the kids being put in a safe place a bad thing? That's the second time. This is the second time that he's brought up reporting about the protection of children being a negative thing. Oh, people were calling CPS on him when he was covering Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Yeah, if people were calling CPS on you falsely, that's bullshit. But that's not CPS's fault. They didn't do anything wrong. Like, why would you shit on CPS for that? They're just doing their job. Actually, Athens, it could be that, but the speculation is, or the people are speculating that it's probably heroin. Partially due to the track lines and the coloring of the substance, but we don't know.
To make sure that everything's situated there, and I doubt that they will give children back there. I doubt it. I mean, I guess they could, but probably not. They'll probably allow like visitation. You know, they'll be in a safe environment, but you know, I don't see that happening.
As opposed to the unsafe environment? What the fuck?
No, again, I don't know in Minnesota. Maybe it's different there. I have no idea how that specific town is or anything. Like they may have somebody, but with all the attention this has and everything else too, I don't see them. I don't see them going easy. You know, and they have every right. And again, you know, I'm not saying anything negative about that too. I mean, you want to have the kids. You want to make sure they're safe. And I'm absolutely.
You were literally being negative about it this whole time, and now you're backtracking. What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that CPS is problematic? Are you trying to say that it's bad that Nick Rekieta might have issues with CPS to make sure that his kids are okay, because that's what you were presenting. You said you don't want CPS in your life because they're scary. And that was one of the reasons, because initially you started talking about rehab. Oh my god, he's all over the... You're having trouble picking out what he's saying because it's all over the place. He started off by saying that this post... I saw this post and I was like, he needs to go to rehab immediately. And that rehab might be good for his case when it comes to the child endangerment. And then he started complaining about, because that, like, with that going on, you're going to have CPS involved. And when CPS is involved, CPS is scary. And they'll, like, come after you as a politician or whatever. And you don't want that, and that's bad. But, you know, I'm not saying bad things about CPS. You want to protect children. And this is already after he complained and said that you don't want to be somebody protecting children as a mandatory reporter. He said that that's never a good place to be in. He didn't say why. He just said it was. So, like, and it's a rambling line. It's not... Yeah, he doesn't get to the point because he doesn't have... Feline's right, he's never getting to the point. Because he doesn't have a point. Because he doesn't want to say anything definitive. And because he's stressed the fuck out. The only thing that he said that was definitive was that as a professional, he knows that Nick Rekieta was in drug crisis. Which he did without assessing him, by the way, as a professional. And if you remember the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case and Dr. Spiegel... Professionals are not supposed to be analyzing people they haven't actually sat down and assessed. I don't know how that applies to mental health professionals. Except for that, that's exactly how that's supposed to apply to mental health professionals. Jordan Peterson's getting in trouble for the same fucking shit. I never called CPS. Don't you start with me. I've had people accuse me of calling CPS on them. I don't have a phone. This phone doesn't have a SIM card in it. It's a mini tablet. It's just a mini computer. It can be used for calling emergency services.
Absolutely in no way, shape, or form saying that he's ever done anything to children. I'm not saying that either. You know, that charge comes up with substances in the home. Like, there's been some discussion about...
Sir, this literally says that the children were the reason the mandatory reporter was reporting was that they were told by kids right here. It was reported they're staying with Rekieta and the home was in disarray and cluttered. It was reported from a church preschool teacher that the children had complained of being hungry, not being fed, and were wearing the same clothes for 3 to 4 days at a time and would start to smell. Brother. Either, again, being charitable, you didn't know this and are speaking without knowing dick shit about the warrant that you're talking about, and you're speculating and causing problems and doing the thing you're saying that people shouldn't be doing, or you did read it, knew it, chose not to show it to your audience, and then fucking speculated about it anyway. Again, explain to me how you are not the opportunist in this scenario. You said that Alex Stein and Vic Mignogna and what they were doing were like, oh, well, I hope it's positive. Positive in what way? Are you being positive? Is that what this is supposed to be? Is this supposed to help Rekieta? Is that your goal here? Or are you just the opportunist in the room? Is the call coming from inside the house? What are you doing? Why? Why are you... What are you doing? Oh my god, this is so bad.
Got another charge with... that was listed on a... I'm not sure the particulars on that. We've been looking, trying to find the original document and see if like somebody hit the wrong button on a computer. Who knows? Because it wasn't in the, it wasn't discussed by the judge.
So you know it was discussed by the judge. You know the conversations that were happening. You don't know everything, but you're misrepresenting the warrant? Am I supposed to believe that you hadn't seen the warrant? You said you were looking at the paperwork. If you were looking at the paperwork, you would have had to have seen the warrant. So you're doing it on purpose. You're purposefully misrepresenting the warrant and purposefully not showing what the warrant said. Why? And if you were going to discuss the warrant without ever having seen it, why? Why would you choose to do that? The warrant is public. Did you not know that the warrant was going to be public? Is that why? You thought that nobody would ever get to read it? Bro, what the fuck? What is this? What is this stream? This is ridiculous. Why would you... Explain to me how Tug isn't the opportunist. That's what I want to know. How is this guy not the opportunist in the room of people discussing Rekieta's lawsuit? How is that not him? How is he not the poster child for this? Unbelievable.
You would have had that come up. So we don't know how that came up. But really what it is it's attached to the drug charges. And like I said, he's innocent until proven guilty there. At the same time, like with them defaulting to child safety,
he's not innocent until proven guilty about the drug charges. Not according to you. You said as a professional, you knew that he was in drug crisis and was doing drugs. You already said that as a professional. So you claimed that he was guilty about that without using the word guilty. Because specific charges are specific. You can do drugs, that doesn't mean and be on drugs, that doesn't mean the charge is going to go through. That's irrelevant. Oh my god. He's all over the place.
Like I said, he's innocent until proven guilty there. At the same time, like with them defaulting to child safety, I saw a lot of lawyers like banging their fists and being like, oh my God, but I see the other side of that. And I know there are situations where you need them to have power. I do not advocate for governmental power and authority. I'm telling you, there are some absolute scumbags out there. And you don't want to be just like, whatever. And most people too, the people that investigate this, they're usually in private care.
What? So the Rekieta family defaulted to CPS already? And according to that umbrella guy, but he doesn't know what's in the warrant? But also he wouldn't advocate for government authority because there are scumbags out there and I wouldn't want well anyway? He was very particular at the beginning of the stream that he was in fact not smoking anything but a cigar, but we do hear him drinking, and he's pretty sporadic.
Here's another thing about CPS or really any governmental service. Like in private care, you max out the clients that you can service. You might have as a case, or depending on where you live, case or care manager, a CM. Typically, privatized care, they'll max you out in the 30s, 30, 35 clients. That's it, right? With CPS, I knew a guy who worked for CPS that was carrying 78 clients when I talked to them. 78 cases. I mean, that's crazy. You know.
That's a reason to advocate for more government, not less. That's a reason to advocate to have more people working for CPS and allocating more of a budget so you can hire more people to spread the cases out more so they're not getting overwhelmed. What does this have to do with anything? It doesn't. Just that in regards to Nick Rekieta's child endangerment charges, CPS sucks, apparently.
So, you know, they default to whatever they do. And I get, again, I feel like I'm stuck in this weird place between, when I look at it from mental health perspective, I hear what some lawyers are saying. Again, I think you have to be real careful with kids. You have to be real careful with your freedoms and rights too. It's one of those things. I don't have any good answer for it. You know, I don't. I just want the kids to be okay. But anyway, so the second one was not really. I really wanted to go live tonight. So this was the day of the arrest. Okay. I planned on doing locals tonight. I wanted to do the first stream aftermath gay BS, but I'm not really feeling it. I'm sorry. I'll do something tomorrow. Right now, I'm just drained and effing tired. Again, a million people will have a whole slew of opinions about me and everything. That's fine. They earned it. They don't know the story. They can't, but they get their opinions. But they get their opinions. They're allowed to have them. Is what it's saying. And I deserve my public lashing. I asked people to focus on me and my failures and leave other people allegedly involved out of it. That's what I was saying about like family and other things. You can see the trigger points in this. And again, they're understandable. Talk about me. Don't talk about my kids. Don't talk about my wife. Don't talk about other people. You know, that's where I think your responses have come from. And again, that's why he cannot look at this stuff right now, because people are not going. The internet is going to be like, oh, that's a place he'll respond. It's just how they are.
So you don't have anything to say about narratives. You don't have anything to say about him setting up a story. You don't have anything to say. No? Just that, oh, but guys, be nice to Rekieta.
When it's grifting time, I'll tell you shitty jail stories or quote-unquote the good parts about having your house search stories. I want to be jovial and optimistic for those things because they can be funny and self-deprecating. Tonight I don't feel jovial. Peace, y'all. Talk soon. That'd be very stupid, by the way. So, then you had...
What would be very stupid? What would be very stupid? Having a stream? Having a jovial stream about, haha, my house got raided? Is that part? Is that the part that's stupid? Yeah, go for it. What do you want to point out? I'll wait. Chesh didn't look this mad when she was covering Aaron's stuff. This is because Aaron's a joke. This is like... This affects people. Like I said, this stream is only a day old and has 39,000 views on it. This is a whole like subset of YouTube. And it's so annoying to listen to somebody be so passive when they've been so aggressive and then also be so all over the place. It's annoying.
Let's see. You had a message come up on the... Let's see, give me 1 minute here. I'm pulling up something. Are they not all here? I'm trying to see if... He actually put one up about... Give me 1 second. I gotta find one real quick. There's one missing. I think he...
This happens to me. I hear this.
He's also been on Instagram, arguing with people and commentary.
Oh, really?
That's not good. Like, here was the thing. Like that's where it gets really bad. Okay, that's where it gets really bad because he's talking about. He's arguing with the people that support. It's just like, so Kiwi Farms has come up a lot. I want to clarify something. You know, I saw the Keno Casino thing. By the way, props to you, Warski. I've known for a long time. Like, I don't know, but Warski helped me out when I started out. So props to him. I appreciate him. But
I just want to point this out real quick. You see that super chat? There's a handful of you in here who might recognize that individual. I'll give you guys a second to look. The super chat says, the search warrant affidavit has not been released. No one knows what the problematic cause PC was for the search. The arrest PC was finding the coke. We will see how they got the warrant. Like I said, it's lawyer YouTube. They're all connected. It had been released by May 27th. Yeah. Yeah, the arrest warrant that I read out and looked at, even if it hadn't been even if it hadn't been released, let's pretend that this is correct, right? Let's pretend this is correct. Even if it hadn't been released, then why are you talking about it like this? You don't know and you don't have the information, so why is this out here, and why isn't that the thing you're calling out? Or is that part of the thing you're calling out? I don't know. Anyway, I just thought I'd point that out.
props to you, Warski. I've known for a long time. Like,
it's an Easter egg. It's an Easter egg for the old guard, for the people who know the deep lore.
Warski helped me out when I started out, so props to him. I appreciate him. But I heard Megan Fox brought in there with blaming Kiwi Farms. I think that was an emotional reaction that was not stated well. Like, for me, I'll blame Kiwi Farms. Kiwi Farms is not responsible for Nick's drug use or anything else, and I don't think anybody else blames that too. Kiwi Farms, in fact, first of all, you know, anybody can use a site. So can there be people? Sure, but I'm trying to think of how I want to say this.
Yes, please think about what you're trying to say, because I don't understand what you're trying to say. Are you trying to defend Kiwi Farms? Are you trying to say that Kiwi Farms is responsible for something or is not responsible for something? What are you saying? You gotta love a classic Kiwi Farms apologetics. Oh?
I want to get it correct here. I think a lot of people that were there were trying to tell him to pull up. That was the meme, right? Pull up, pull up, pull up. And they were charting this decline. And
yeah, that's what Kiwi Farms was doing. They were charting the decline of Nick Rekieta to try to help him to not, and encourage him to not fall into the abyss and get himself arrested. That sounds like Kiwi Farms. That sounds like Kiwi Farms to you guys, right? That sounds like something Kiwi Farms would do. Oh, brother. Yeah, he was defending Kiwi Farm. That is currently what is happening right now.
you can call it anything. You can call it shaming or whatever, but it's the same thing that I think Rekieta would do too. You know? I think he would
so he thinks Rekieta's a bully. Okay.
Shame people and you know, the fat shaming or whatever. I mean, it's the same thing. I think it was just there was reality to it, and I don't think
he just thinks bullying is okay.
Just to be honest, I think that was okay looking at this. In fact, maybe there should have been more Here, I found this one. I didn't see the I'm not suicidal. Maybe that's not up there still. Okay, I'm clipping this. Sorry. I had to dig this up. Give me a minute. It took me a minute to find this. So, like I said, give me a minute. I'm clipping it and everything. I saw where somebody had posted it. This guy's, because there are a lot of people that were concerned. I was concerned. When I saw his post, I was like, oh my God, is he talking about offing himself possibly? I was like, holy God, no, no. Does anybody know him? Do they know he's okay? Because I was worried about that, But the first post was to the real ones, to the fake ones. And then there was a I'm not suicidal. So I'll put that one in. I'll have to show you between these. But again, I hated the focus to be on, like, noted with Kiwi, because I don't think anybody blames any of these sites. Anybody. Again, that's the person who did this. I just think a lot of people were talking because they're upset. There's a lot of upset people. Myself, I was pissed off, if I'm being, like, honest about it. I was pissed off at Nick. I was pissed off because he won't listen to anybody. Maybe he is now, but he wouldn't at first. I was really mad about that.
How do you know that if you weren't talking to him? Didn't you say earlier that you hadn't been watching his streams and hadn't been talking to him in a while? How do you know he wasn't listening to anybody if you weren't there?
I was mad because you don't just do this for you do it for yourself too. Like, I want to know at the end of the day. I'm old enough in my life to have.
Just want to ask a genuine question. Is it possible that this is so confusing on purpose to muddy the waters? Yes and no. I think it's both. I think it's muddying the waters on purpose, but I also think some of this is just accidental because I think it's an element. Yeah, I think that's part of what is they're trying to do. Like this entire group, right? The LawTube group is a we protect our own group. They've been like that since their inception. Right? So since they've kind of found each other and blew up as a group, a lot of it around the Amber Heard case, the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case, there has been a lot of, there's been things that have come out about individuals within that group, and the other LawTubers will do everything to help shut that down and keep that. Like, they won't address things, they'll say they're going to review things and then just not. They'll obfuscate shit. They do not hold their own accountable and do not, like, they protect their own group, which is, like, to the point of it being problematic, i.e. what's happened with RekietaLaw. And you're gonna see how, like, you're gonna see one of two things. You're gonna see people who decide to try to continue that on, like what Tug is doing, where, like, they try to obfuscate and try to lessen the degree of whatever Nick Rekieta has done, and then you'll see a handful go, like, I likely think that this is going to cause a schism. You're going to see the other side of this, where you're going to see a handful of that will throw Nick Rekieta under the bus. They'll try to defend him for as long as they can, but when the information comes out, and they're confronted with the information, they're going to be like, whoa, wow, well, right? So law is very finicky and full of misdirection and misleading, a lot of it, yeah. So it's we'll see. Feline, I think we're gonna talk about this, by the way, on Dumbfact Friday. Did you want to come on and give some opinions about this whole shtick? Let me know. Hit me up.
Buried people that I care about. I've had my own problems, and everybody that I had problems with, like, there's just a couple of them left. Just a couple. And, one of them's not in very good shape at all. The others are either in jail or, they're dead. And they're dead from substances and everything else. And I would much rather seem like an absolute asshole or whatever else. I would rather scream on Twitter and in videos and call out people than to bury another friend.
Then why aren't you calling him out? Why didn't you call him out before he got arrested? You're not doing the thing that you say you would rather do. Like, this just... Okay. I mean, you can blow smoke out, like, this is self-pontificating. I'm such a good person, I would rather do this than that because blah 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 blah. Not like, no. This is self-flagellate, like, this is fellatio. This is self-fellatio. Like, how great am I? Yeah, but you didn't. You didn't do those things, dude. Brother.
Because, you know, at the end of the day, it sucks either way, man, but that shit haunts you. I like to sleep.
I mean, I guess what?
Sleep well after it. You know, I'm going to sleep very well if it happens anyway, but I like...
I'd rather have an ex-friend than a dead friend, I think is what he's trying to say.
I like to know that I did everything possible. So anyway, this statement. I don't mean to be doom and gloom on that, but for real. I mean, we were to that point, I feel like. I got to relight my cigar. Talk too much. It takes forever to light this thing.
See, that is self-soothing. Self-soothing.
I got one of these big fat freaking cigars, and this thing takes forever. It's like lighting a chair leg. So there was to the real ones, thanks. To the fake ones, I get it. I don't know what that means. Again, you know, I would hope that when Nick is clear-minded, he can understand that anybody talking about this. So many people have been concerned about him. So that doesn't make you a fake friend. In fact, I got so irritated the other day. I saw all these one-offs. You know, this is why I don't blame my Kiwi Farms, because I see all these one-offs. I see all your so-called fucking friends. What are they doing? I know some of them are really working hard behind the scenes, but some of these fuckers that are supposed to be your friends, when you're dying online, they put out oh man, hate to see that. Hope you get everything right. Is your fucking friend? No. Like I said, I'd rather be a dick and everything else. So with Kiwi, you know what? I kind of agree with him. Yell, scream, fuck it. Until he gets everything together, scream at him, yell at him. You know, I mean, I do agree with that. I'm to that point, too. It frustrates me when I'm seeing posts online, I'm mad. They got to me the other day, and I went on like a posting binge, you know, and I'm trying to just cover what's happening. But, so anyway.
Oh my god. I'm trying to just cover what's happening. I'm not trying to influence the narrative one way or another. Definitely not. I'm definitely screaming that Nick Rekieta needs to go to rehab. That's why I only briefly mentioned it and then went on a tangent about how that might be bad because CPS sucks. Oh my god.
Brief message. To those merely watching, every life is a show. Some just have fortune or misfortune of having an audience at times. May you all find peace in your life. Be encouraged and not discouraged. Hold fast to the people who actually care. Believe me, you'll know. See y'all soon. Now the way that sounded, I don't know. When I saw it, I was like,
when did he post this? May 26th. That was posted on May 26th.
You know, that actually sounds... So, I asked a few people. I was like, did you see that message? Is it just me? Does that sound suicidal, potentially? You know? I mean, again, it says see y'all soon, but... It's very...
It sounds like he knew shit was hitting the fucking fan.
Down, right? And this subject should feel like that to you. I don't know. So... Then this came up.
I'm sorry, what? This subject should feel like that to you? Did he just... Okay, you guys need to tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm crazy about this. Did he just compare Nick Rekieta getting arrested because somebody he got reported to the police by a mandatory reporter for his kids complaining about being underfed and not washed and taken care of properly? and he's comparing that and him getting arrested for that and cocaine and other, like, not taking care of guns, and compared that to suicide, and they should be treated as if they're the same thing? Is that what he just said? Did I understand that correctly? We're listening to somebody who goes by That Umbrella Guy, who's out here trying to, like, defend Nick Rekieta, I guess. Hold on. I need to listen to it again.
Suicidal, potentially? You know? I mean, again, it says see y'all soon, but it's very down, right? And this subject should feel like that to you. I don't know. So...
this subject should feel like that to you. The subject being Nick Rekieta getting arrested and charged with 3 different counts of drug possession, of child endangerment, and of improperly kept weapons. And so that this situation should feel like a suicidal situation to everybody? Like, those are equivalent? Maybe that's just poorly worded. What the fuck?
Then this came up. I'm not suicidal. Smollett.gif, just FYI. Heard my last post was a little suicidal sounding. I apologize for that. My last post was hopeful, not suicidal. Good, you know. The world has stuck with me a while longer. So I'm glad you got clarification on that. Again, stop posting. But then you had another one today. So... again, this is why if I seem frustrated, the reason I'm promoting this is because if I seem frustrated, I'm like, dude, get off fucking line, man. Get your shit right, you know?
He's saying promoting, so he knows that he's promoting and signal boosting what Rekieta's been saying, but he's trying to say that it's okay that he's doing that, or he's justified in doing that because he's trying to use it as a vessel to say stop posting. But the thing is like, putting his messages out there more. You can say that without showing the messages. You can just say, Rekieta's been posting. He needs to stop fucking posting. Dude, stop fucking posting.
Oh, like, this ain't good for you. No, this is good for you. Give me 1 second. I have a 4-year-old. See, I'm a father, too. And as a father... my kids here, like, that's what it bothers me.
As a father, it sure does suck that people are in a position where they have to mandatorily report that children are that there's questionable behavior around children.
Me, and that was one of the things that I liked about Nick, and I like about Nick. That family, that's one of the things that mattered.
Yeah, okay, that's what you get from Nick Rekieta. Family. That's the thing that you like about Nick Rekieta. Family. Okay, yeah, that matches. Alright, we're done. We're done with Tug. I'm taking a break. Holy shit, dude. This stream is so bad. It's so bad. I thought you weren't gonna watch the whole thing. We got just under 40 minutes of it. Holy. Alright, I'm gonna give us a break. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. You guys want to see, like, an old video? You guys want to see something really old? Actually, you know what? Maybe let's just be done. Maybe let's just be done today. Like, I think that's enough Nick Rekieta stuff. Do you think there's anything else that you guys think that we should talk about? Is there anything else that we need to explicitly speak on? We looked at the paperwork. Is there any other paperwork that you guys did want to look at? I do have the full thing. I do have, I have the homepage for Minnesota. Wait, where did it go? Oh, it reloaded. Sorry, hold on 1 second. I gotta re-pull it up, because it's mad at me. So I do have the case details. So there's an upcoming hearing And it's contested omnibus. I'm not showing it, by the way, right now, just because, like, I'm not gonna show it. Too bad. The upcoming hearing, contested omnibus on 08/20/24 at 2:45 p.m. So that's in August 20th. The case status is currently open. We've already looked at the charges. There's interim conditions. So the conditions for Rekieta is that make all future court appearances, complete booking, remain law-abiding, make and maintain contact with attorney, keep court attorney informed of current address, post bail or bond with no conditions at $50,000, release conditions with $0. Do not leave Minnesota without written court approval. Do not process alcohol or drugs except as prescribed. Sorry, do not possess alcohol or drugs except as prescribed. So no drinking. If Rekieta is drinking on stream or he's caught drinking, he's breaking his interim conditions. Random testing, contact with probation, and do not use or possess firearms, ammunitions, or explosives. The case event so far has been like evaluation forms, a waiver of time requirement for hearing, demand for omnibus hearing, order for release, hearing held remote, statement of rights, e-file compliant order for detention, and then the previous hearing was 05/24/2024. I believe somebody there was, let me see if I can find it. I think there was maybe one other thing we can look at. Hold on, let me double check. I mean, there was that lady that was just absolutely like, what the fuck, in the YouTube comment section. I could have sworn there was... No, hold on. Let me see if somebody had retweeted it. There's a tweet video going around of Nick Rekieta. Oh, okay, well, we got this one. Here, we'll play this. We'll wrap up soon. We got this one, and then we got one other thing. So Alex Stein here, talking about, even though Nick didn't show up, or sorry, even though Vic Mignogna didn't show up, they still decided to talk on it. So let's just fix this real quick. There we go. So I had to reset it because I changed it around. There we go.
Now, but I had to bring up a guy that was supposed to be on this program named Vic Mignogna. Now, Vic's become a good friend of mine, and Vic is really personally affected by all of this, Aaron. I mean, to a level that, you know, I can only say so much stuff out of school, and Vic is going to come on and talk about it. But basically, Nick raised $250,000 in a GoFundMe, then paid an attorney that ended up losing a case, which is a defamation case, which is one of the hardest cases to win. And Vic got hit with an anti-SLAPP lawsuit back and is now responsible for their legal funds that are over $100,000. So Vic is very, for lack of a better word, butthurt by Nick Rekieta. What does Nick say about Vic behind closed doors?
Nothing, you know, a lot of people think
this is the Aaron guy that people have been talking about. That's the guy that was listed in the warrant. That's that Aaron.
I think that because Nick and I and our wives hung out for 6 months or so that we like talked about streaming and talked about, we really didn't. I mean, we talked about shit that friends talk about. Did
you call it
like your jobs? Friends don't talk about their jobs and what they do and what they've been up to? Okay.
pants gay, though? You said he had gay pants or something? He was very mad about that. Vic was very mad that you guys called him a homosexual, which he's not, for the record.
No, there were gay jokes. Like, there were gay jokes made. Like, I remember one time we were talking in my kitchen. It was just very, like, high school level gay joke kind of
Were you
talk.
on cocaine making these jokes, so you're extra a little amped up?
I was not. No, I wasn't making jokes about Vic. I don't know Vic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know Vic. I only know Vic from, I think April may have been on an episode of Simpcast with him. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about Vic. I don't know Vic much at all. I just know that one time, you know.
This dude's elbows are pinned to his sides. He is very uncomfortable. I would also suspect that he is lying out his ass.
Nick he told a story about Vic, and he's like, Vic was always surrounded by a beautiful girl, and then, you know, you wouldn't think it because, you know, whatever. I mean, there was nothing really crazy about.
That's pretty
Vic
bad. Nick screwed him over, and then behind his back, he's calling him a homosexual. That's pretty low. Nick Rekieta's been low, but for him to do that, it's low after he screwed over Vic. So I'm Team Vic. But let's get into this. We're going to talk about the wife swapping, all that bad stuff. But what do you think about a guy like
the wife swapping and all that stuff? Oh, brother.
things and stuff. Just go back to kind of our normal show and covering things and stuff like that.
Well, sadly, though, like this is Vic was talking about, this is going to die down, right? The views are going to go down, but then they're going to spike back up because Vic is now, his views are up because people are talking about this. You go to Nick's channel, his first pinned video is him and Vic Mignogna. So now Vic is like, well, it looks like I'm associating with a guy that's neglecting his kids, according to the pastor at his church, and that is basically high on over 25 grams of cocaine, almost an amount that a drug dealer would have. So sadly, you're never going to be able to wash the stain away. What's going to happen to April? I know she would talk about before. I know you don't know, but
just go back to kind of our
I know you don't know, but I'm going to ask anyway. Oh, brother. Fucking hell, dude. This is not what I'm looking for. Hold on. There we go. I thought there was one other video that went out that I saw floating around that was Nick Rekieta while he was arrested. Boop, 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 boop. No, that's the Alex Stein one. I could have sworn there was a video floating around about this. That's 26. Yeah, this is just evidence of Nick Rekieta being a dick to people. Because people are like, oh my god, why are you talking about Nick? So for anybody who doesn't know...
Says, you want to specifically stop Vic from getting work? So it would be real easy to prove actual malice on you, you lying cunt. It will be really, really easy, you ugly sack of cat feces, to show actual malice. So even if Vic is a public figure, even if he is, guess what? Guess what? They can show actual malice because in January 18th of 2019, you said, we want to get Vic to stop having income. You disgusting, smelly, obese animal. Evidence of your January 18th tweet.
This is why people don't like Nick Rekieta. He's a fucking douchebag. He's been a douchebag. He fucking sends people after others. Like... I have this one saved for later, but I'm not gonna talk about it right now. 25 years in jail. Yeah, there's... Oh, here it is. I knew it. I knew it. I found it. Okay.
How?
So this is, shit got worse. Oh, this isn't at the... I don't know where this is from. Hold on, we're gonna find out. I think this is video from his hearing, but I'm not 100% sure.
Count one is second-degree possession, 25 grams or more of cocaine or methamphetamine. This is in violation of Minnesota Statute 152.022, subdivision 2, print A, print 1. The maximum sentence for that count is 25 years in prison and/or a $500,000 fine. Count 2 is possession of ammunition or any firearm with the user of controlled substances. This is a gross misdemeanor, so the maximum sentence is 364 days in the Kansas County Jail and/or a $3,000 fine. Count 3, endangerment of a child when present with a sale or possession of a controlled substance. Again, a gross misdemeanor. Count 1 is second-degree possession.
So yeah, that was him in court, because it was done online. So that was him being read, like, what the charges are going to be against him. Reading the official report, Rekieta is definitely rock bottom level. This is the report, by the way. This was public already, and this was as of May 24th. So this video is as of May 27th. So, yeah, we knew all this shit. We had all of this information. And exactly how the police came to the condition that they did. So, we even had shit like this knowing what the counts were. So, to say otherwise, I think, is dishonest, and present it otherwise is gross mishandling, and almost... it's hard to say that it's not, like... not spin. It seems like spin, but, you know... Like I said, this is a group of people who has been very tight-knit, like, not, like, very much protecting each other. Whether it be from criticism, whether it be from whatever. Anyway, that's everything for me. I'm gonna call it there. I think that's more than enough information. I think plenty got covered today. We'll probably look into this later. We're probably gonna talk about it on Friday, just so we can talk about it a little bit more for, like, from, like, an analytical point of view. A lot of this was a lot of just me trying to get all of the information out there and give you guys sort of the foundation to start kind of being able to make decisions and kind of think about things yourselves, so you can kind of have, you know, who the players are and kind of what the general gist of information is, so that way we don't spend 3 hours on Dumbfuck Friday just, you know, reading through the paperwork. No, you guys have the paperwork, and you kind of know what it's about, and we can kind of just elaborate and talk about it from there. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. It is Wednesday, right? I'll be back tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow morning. We'll be back to doing some more art. Maybe we'll look at what Alex Stein had to say about this in a little bit more of a full thing, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about Vic Mignogna. We'll see. We're gonna get on out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a lot of fun. I'm gonna go raid somebody. Button, who's got the button? I'm gonna go raid somebody, and I'll see you soon. See you tomorrow. Bye.